Part 36. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 355. We really have a good connection. Gu Huiyan smiled bitterly, shook his head, and put it on casually. Ever since Pei Jingshu gave this bracelet to Gu Huiyan had never taken it off until they broke up. Because of the huge turmoil, Gu Huiyan went out to dinner with friends and was photographed wearing this bracelet on her hand. After a burst of scolding, he reluctantly stopped wearing it. At that time, Gu Huiyan really didn't know if there would be a chance to wear this bracelet openly in the future. The reason why I brought it with me was just to keep it as a souvenir. Gu Huiyan didn't have the habit of collecting treasures, and he didn't have a place to put it at home. He was afraid of losing it, so he brought it with him. I didn't want to, but I just needed it at this moment. Maybe she was a little touched. As a gust of fragrance came, Pei Jingshu opened her arms and wrapped them around Gu Huiyan's neck and hugged him from the front. Her fragrant shoulders and hair were all on one side of Gu Huiyan's face, and her body and hair were fragrant. Waiting for various fragrances to enter Gu Huiyan's nose as if they were free. This is still when wearing a mask. God knows what it feels like not to wear a mask. Since she couldn't kiss anymore, a hug would be fine, so Gu Huiyan put his hands on Pei Jingshu's waist dishonestly. The two of them were sitting opposite each other, and Pei Jingshu was bent over to hug her. The light blue sweater on her upper body was very loose, but not very long. Holding her like this would make the upper hem a little empty, and the position of her back it has been raised a lot. Gu Huiyan's hand wrapped around Pei Jingshu's waist and was able to touch her waist. One thing to say, Pei Jingshu's waist is really thin, maybe not as tight as Shang Zuoyan's and even has waistcoat lines, but the touch of her skin is really great. In the past, her fans often said that she had milk skin. Some people on the internet always said this was an exaggeration, but after Gu Huiyan actually touched it, she couldn't help but say, "This is so damn realistic." No matter the touch, visual effect, or close-range delicacy, her whole body is really tender, as if she had been soaked in milk every day. Don't itch. It's a pity that the shy Pei Jingshu didn't let Gu Huiyan touch her for long. Girls' waists are not that sensitive in theory, but Pei Jingshu usually doesn't wear navel-bearing clothes and is easily shy. She felt itchy. Also normal. While speaking, as if she was afraid that Gu Huiyan would go further, Pei Jingshu immediately let go of her arms around his neck, then stood up and walked out while saying, "I'm going to get some water to drink. This is so embarrassing." Gu Huiyan smacked his lips, rubbed his hands, as if he still had something to say, and then clasped his hands together in a posture of worshipping Buddha, silently reciting in his heart, "Buddha bless you, get over your cold soon, get over your cold soon, get over your cold soon, get over it soon." Gu Huiyan is a Libra and Pei Jingshu is not, but difficulty in choosing has nothing to do with the zodiac sign. Gu Huiyan originally thought that Pei Jingshu could make a decision quickly if he didn't know what to eat. After all, he often ate at that store. However, Pei Jingshu looked at it for a long time and didn't know what to eat. She always had no idea. When Gu Huiyan asked, she said that usually her sister or nutritionist ordered it, and she just followed it. "We are both disabled, otherwise I can help you make it if you go out and buy some ingredients." Gu Huiyan was embarrassed to say that he wanted to eat noodles, so he said casually. To his surprise, Pei Jingshu laughed after hearing this, then raised her jade hand and knocked Gu Huiyan on the head, saying, "Is your brain burned out? We can't get out, but we can find someone to buy it for us." "You mean assistant?" Gu Huiyan held his forehead in silence. The assistants were basically arranged together by Pei Yat. When it came to shopping, she probably knew that this eldest sister had many things to do and made many demands on Pei Jingshu. She was not allowed to eat what she was not allowed to eat. It's not troublesome enough to let her know. Pook. Pei Jingshu smiled and said, I think your head is really burned out. Ah. Gu Huiyan scratched his head, and then Pei Jingshu clicked on the food delivery app. There were food delivery boys running errands on it, and there were also food delivery services in nearby supermarkets. Jiao. Gu Huiyan slapped his forehead, feeling a little ashamed for a moment, wondering if his brain was really burned out. Can you forget this? But having said that, maybe it's not that I forgot, but that Gu Huiyan rarely uses this. He usually buys things by himself when going out, cooks meals by himself, and doesn't order takeout often. If he doesn't use it often, he won't be able to use it. Remember, his living situation has never been like that of a contemporary stinking young man, but rather that of an uncle. Since it can be ordered, there is nothing good to ink on. Gu Huiyan ordered a handful of noodles, got some onions, ginger, eggs and the like, and bought some ribs, meat, and the like. Within half an hour, someone delivered them. Come to your door. He swiped the elevator card and asked the boy to put the things at the door. There was a camera on the door lock and it was quite clear to see outside. When the people left, Gu Huiyan went out to get things, which just avoided the risk of exposure. After taking the things, Gu Huiyan went to the kitchen. Although Pei Jingshu's house didn't often get into trouble, housekeepers came to clean it regularly, so the kitchen was always clean and as good as new. No, it should be said that they are new. She doesn't even have soy sauce and vinegar, they all buy them fresh. Pei Jingshu doesn't even know how to use the range hood. She is not a rich lady who has no fingers in the water, so she will come in and help peel onions, but to be honest, there is not much work. Gu Huiyan can only do it by herself, so there is no chance for her to intervene. Pei Jingshu was still a little embarrassed, so she stretched out her jade hand to lift her short hair back, and said softly. Originally, I called you here to take care of you, but in the end, you were the one who was busy with everything. At this moment, Gu Huiyan showed a rare high emotional intelligence, and said an English sentence with his backhand. My pleasure. Pei Jingshu was amused and couldn't help but correct Gu Huiyan's pronunciation. It was not Pu Laishuo but Pu Laishuo. In the kitchen, two people were chatting while cooking. It was not too late, and they had eaten on the way in the afternoon. The two of them were not very hungry, so Gu Huiyan planned to stew the pork ribs. After blanch the water, heat the oil in a pot, turn on the range hood, add onions and ginger and sauté until fragrant, then add the pork ribs. Stir fry in a pot, all the movements are done in one go, I am very skilled at it. Shishi. When the pot was put into the pot, the water and oil collided violently, making a loud noise, and some oil splashed out. Pei Jingshu subconsciously hid back, while Gu Huiyan subconsciously held the pot lid to protect Pei Jingshu. Pei Jingshu couldn't help but glance at Gu Huiyan, and the corners of her mouth raised unconsciously. Stir-fry the pork ribs, add soy sauce, hot water, and stew. Just as Gu Huiyan poured hot water into the pork ribs pot, the aroma of sauce and meat slowly filled the kitchen. There is heating and floor heating at home, which is quite warm, but it is cold outside. When cooking in the kitchen at home, a thin layer of fog tends to form on the windows. It was completely dark at this time. The floor they were on was relatively high, and the lights outside were brightly lit. Covered by the hazy mist, it was like a dream. Standing at the door with her hands behind her back, looking at Gu Huiyan, who was wearing an apron and holding a pot with both hands to collect hot water, and gently sniffing the fragrance in the kitchen, Pei Jingshu suddenly felt that this was the feeling of home. Only with the smoke of fireworks can there be a smell of home. One thing she always liked about being with Gu Huiyan was that he never lacked fireworks. He can take you out to eat Western food worth tens of thousands of yuan without feeling any pain at all, and he can also cook you ribs worth hundreds of yuan at home while busy and bringing you warmth. Do you think it would be okay if they ordered delivery from the restaurant tonight? Also. But it just feels like it lacks some atmosphere. To be precise, it should be the taste. It has nothing to do with health. When you cook in your own kitchen, you can eat the freshly cooked food with the aroma. The taste is the most important thing. There was nothing Gu Huiyan could do to help. The live streaming equipment in Lefang hadn't been completed yet, so Pei Jingshu ran over there. Forgot to mention, they got 2 sets of live broadcast equipment, one for the dressing room and one for the music room. Speaking of the music room, it is actually a room where Pei Jingshu usually practices piano. It has a specially made soundproof wall, and the soundproofing effect is no worse than that of the recording studio. There are not many musical instruments, just guitars, violins, and pianos. Mainly piano. Pei Jingshu has been practicing piano since she was a child and passed level 10 early. Although she has been busy with work and has less time to practice piano in recent years, her skills have not fallen behind. She basically practices when she has time at home. Gu Huiyan really likes to watch Pei Jingshu when she plays the piano. When she plays the piano, her back is straight, her chest is straight and her perfect shoulders and neck are on display. When she steps on the pedal, she stretches out one of her fair and slender legs from the side. Look at it, not to mention how eye-catching it is. Part of the reason why she has such a good temperament has to do with playing the piano since she was a child. The piano is an instrument that can really train people's temperament. Tonight is a live broadcast, and the audience may ask you to sing or something, so it is common to have a set of live broadcast equipment in the music room. Only. Perhaps because she had never done this live broadcast before, Pei Jingshu accidentally did it. It's on air. The news of the official announcement of the live broadcast of Pei Ban Takes Care of CP was released as early as the morning. After Jiang's mother chatted with Pei Ya last night, she went back and started preparations. Because the live broadcast platform was confirmed to be on Douyin, basically in the morning, many netizens were able to read the news about the live broadcast of the official announcement of the two's reunion by watching videos. There are all kinds of marketing accounts, and they are also crazy and rhythmic. This matter was already a hot search at noon. Hashtag Peiban takes care of CP's official announcement of the reunion live broadcast. Hashtag. Although they didn't emphasize it deliberately, they just forwarded it to each other on the Weibo of both parties and made a live broadcast preview. But who makes them the most popular people recently? Their videos have tens or millions of likes. Not to mention the live broadcast of the official announcement of the rightful owner. The comment area below is always busy. I must see it. He loves it so much. This is really the first couple in the entertainment industry to officially announce their reunion, right? I knew the CP I was knocking would not be. It's funny to say that there are so many couples in the entertainment industry who have broken up, and there are so many people who have broken up with each other after separation. When you say they got back together, it seems like this is the only couple so far. What's even funnier is that from falling in love, to breaking up, to getting back together, the audience and fans basically watched them all the way. Even though everyone knew that the two of them had gotten back together by the end of the concert, the live broadcast of the official announcement of their reunion was still very gimmick and attracted everyone's attention. So basically, as soon as many people heard that the two of them were going to hold an official live broadcast tonight, they immediately said, "My 358th Regiment will definitely help out." Because the popularity was so high, a lot of people were already squatting 1 hour before the official announcement of the live broadcast. Because of this, when Pei Jingshu accidentally opened the live broadcast, tens of thousands of people came in within a few seconds. The public screen scrolls quickly. Didn't we agree on 8 o'clock? Sister Pei, are you so impatient? Where is this? Why is Sister Pei dressed so casually? You can tell at first glance that you are not a real fan. This is Sister Pei's house. All old fans know that she has shared photos. Wow, this piano, isn't it worth a few $100s anyway? My wife really looks beautiful in anything she wears. Gu Huiyan, it's my wife. My wife? Dear. Gulalu, you can only get high orally, unlike me, who hugs Pei Jingshu and touches her wherever she wants. Ha ha ha. Where are the old six? Why didn't you see them? Didn't you talk about the composite live broadcast? Why is there only Sister Pei? Within a few seconds of the broadcast, the barrage in the live broadcast room went crazy. Huh? This. Pei Jingshu's delicate and pretty face showed a bit of cuteness and confusion. It was obvious that the accidental start of the broadcast was beyond her expectation. Ah! And just that expression has already excited many Wei fans who entered the live broadcast room. Someone is brushing. I'm sorry, Sister Pei. Lose it, lost it? Damn, it's less than a minute. No, I'll go see an old Chinese medicine doctor tomorrow and get some Chinese medicine to replenish my body. Why can't I understand what you are talking about? Netizens always like to have a good talk, which is why Pei Jingshu doesn't like live broadcasts. When she first debuted, an internet celebrity company asked her to cooperate in live broadcasts, but she was always reluctant to go. She could never ignore those people. Dirty words. At this moment, looking at those words, she couldn't help but frown. But when she saw someone teasing her and Gu Huiyan, she couldn't help but blush. For example, Lao Lu came to see you that night, but there was no Sister Pei. Have you two done anything that adults should do? Sister Pei is in such a state that she is nourished by love. By the way, has my brother been hollowed out? Why hasn't he shown up yet? Oh, I feel sorry for Mr. Gu for just 1 minute. There are actually quite few talents that can be encountered in reality, but there are many on the internet. Because of the large flow of people, even a few dozen out of 10,000 people are enough to follow the trend. As for these ridicules, it is not surprising at all. On that day, Gu Huiyan's concert ended. Everyone knew that this old man rushed straight to Pei Jingshu impatiently. That night, there was a heated discussion on the internet about the Gan Chai Li Huo they had tonight. After these few days of fermentation, similar remarks emerge in endlessly. So you have to ask the viewers who came to the live broadcast room of Pei Ban Takes Care of CP's official reunion today, what they are most curious about. In fact, it must be what happened that night. He has a cold and a fever and is in the hospital. How can there be anything done? Pei Jingshu's pretty face flushed red from those barrage comments, and Pei Jingshu was so embarrassed that she wanted to leave the screen. That's what she said, but the audience didn't buy it. Barrage blast. Zun do fake do. You lied to me that I was a puppy. How is it possible? If I were Gulalu, I would have to finish digging even if I wanted to do it that night. It would be cool to be a ghost under the peonies. It's not that big of a deal, right brother? Don't doubt it, Gu Huiyan is such a person, he can do this. This is not a bus going to kindergarten. Let me get off, I want to get off. Hey, don't pretend to be innocent, okay? The car door isn't welded shut, and I don't want to see the upper right corner pronged out. Haha, nothing wrong. It was not unusual for Gu Huiyan to enter the hospital that night. It was exposed by the paparazzi. However, Gu Huiyan's team later came forward to clarify the rumors. The main reason was that they were afraid that fans would surround the hospital again like Gu Huiyan was hospitalized in a car accident. It's a little cold, but don't cause unnecessary trouble. Therefore, fans didn't believe Pei Jingshu at all when he said he was in the hospital. Sometimes, Pei Jingshu felt that fans knew Gu Huiyan better than she did, because if Gu Huiyan hadn't been so dizzy that night, he might have gone to the hospital after seeing her. She silently held her forehead, her face turned red and hot, and she had no intention of talking to these people. She thought to herself that she was still not used to communicating with netizens in person, so she should wait for Gu Huiyan to come. So she planned to tinker with turning off the live broadcast first. Because the live broadcast is scheduled in advance and the platform has official announcements, it is easy to cause problems when starting the broadcast in advance. That's when she thought of this. Ding dong dong. As expected, her cell phone rang. The caller was Pei Jingshu's manager sister Pei Yat. She must have asked why she started broadcasting in advance. After Pei Jingshu said it, Pei Yat couldn't laugh or cry, but after Pei Jingshu said she planned to turn off the broadcast until the time at that time, Pei Yat asked her to leave it alone. It's already open. Turning it off at this time is too destructive, so why not just leave it open? They're ready anyway. After hearing this, Pei Jingshu was a little reluctant and pursed her lower lip slightly. She originally wanted to wait until Gu Huiyan had finished dinner before broadcasting, but now, at the right time, someone in the live broadcast room was reading. "Where's Gu Huiyan? Why haven't you come yet?" "No, I've been waiting for my brother for a long time." "Did you drain my brother dry?" Pei Jingshu almost blushed and ran away when she saw someone saying squeeze dry. These people really spoke freely. She had no choice but to explain to them. "He's giving it to me to eat." But as soon as the words came out of her mouth, Pei Jingshu immediately realized that something was wrong. He quickly raised his hand and covered his mouth. His eyes were wide open and his face was as red as a red apple as he looked at the live broadcast screen. Sure enough, the gang exploded on the spot. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 356. Gilu gilu. The pot was bubbling and gurgling, and the aroma of meat spread throughout the kitchen, making it warm and cozy. Gu Huiyan was cleaning. When he was a child, his mother often told him to work neatly and not leave any tail behind, so he packed up the things Gu Huiyan was used to. Smelling the aroma of meat wafting in the kitchen, as well as the mixed smell of some green onions and meat left on the chopping board just now, Gu Huiyan felt a sense of belonging. Pei Jingshu's house is nice, quite luxurious, but it always feels a little less humane, and it always feels like to Gu Huiyan. Live in hotel. Well, it's a bit more luxurious than the most luxurious hotel. Maybe in Gu Huiyan's concept, there is the smell of firewood, rice, oil, and salt, which is the so-called smoke and smoke, which makes him feel a sense of belonging. The water has been added, and the meat will still be stewed for a while. Gu Huiyan checked the time and realized that the stew would be almost done. Just come down 10 minutes early. After cleaning him up, you can go out to rest for a while, drink water, or something. Pattering. Gu Huiyan has entered the finishing stage at this time and is cleaning the chopping board. But at this moment. Ahem, that. Pei Jingshu's voice suddenly sounded at the door. I go. Gu Huiyan didn't even hear Pei Jingshu coming over while he was busy listening to the sound of the faucet. Scared me. Turning to look at Pei Jingshu, who was wearing a blue sweater, white trousers, and a pair of fluffy slippers, with a shy look on her face as if she didn't know what to say, Gu Huiyan asked strangely. What's wrong? Didn't you just say that you were going to get the equipment, but it disappeared after a while? What's going on? It's just, I can't explain it clearly. Pei Jingshu rarely scratched her head. She has very high hair, but she often had long hair in the past, so her hair volume is not very noticeable. And after she had her hair short, the volume of her hair was really breathtaking. You come with me. Before Gu Huiyan asked, she walked up to Gu Huiyan, grabbed Gu Huiyan's hand and walked out. What's wrong? My hands are wet. Gu Huiyan hurriedly took out a few tissues to wipe his hands. He had just come out of the kitchen and had not even taken off his apron, so he was pulled in front of the camera by Pei Jingshu with a confused look on his face. Oh. Gu Lulu. Do you know how much I miss you? If you don't come out, I really think you have been squeezed dry by Sister Pei. Tell me the truth, what happened that night? Really hospitalized? No, we agreed to give it to Sister Pei next. Gu Huiyan, who was pulled by Pei Jingshu to sit in front of the camera, looked at the barrage that filled the screen. He was a little confused for a while and didn't know how to answer. He looked up at Pei Jingshu in confusion, his face and eyes full of question marks. His expression seemed to say, "Would you like to explain to me what happened? It was promised to start broadcasting at 8 o'clock, why did you suddenly turn it on yourself? Just turn it on. What the hell are these squeeze dry and eat from below that are all over the screen? That's the one." Pei Jingshu was really embarrassed to tell Gu Huiyan that she accidentally turned on the live broadcast and felt that she was easily called stupid. She hated this. At the same time, I am really ashamed to talk about such topics as squeezing it dry, eating it from below, etc. How do you ask her to speak? So shameful. Ah. Sister Pei is so cute. Pei Jingshu lowered her head and hesitated with a red face, which made many people feel itchy to see her. It feels like only here with Gu Huiyan, Pei Jingshu can have these contrasting movements and expressions. Normally, it's as cold as an ice cube. Forget it, I'd better ask myself. Gu Huiyan held his forehead silently, not wanting to get the answer from Pei Jingshu. He silently held his forehead, first waved and said hello to the camera of the mobile live broadcast room, grinning. "Good evening, brothers." Immediately afterwards, he asked, "So can any of you tell me what happened just now?" He is trying to seek truth from the live broadcast room. However, do you think these old and crooked LSPS will give you the answer? What a joke. Brother? Who is your brother? I am your bully. Good guy, I'm a girl, you call me brother. Now I know how to call you brothers. When I whispered to Sister Pei without using the microphone at the concert, I didn't see you remembering brothers. Fans obviously didn't buy it, especially Gu Huiyan's family's eye-catching bag. His family followed Gu Huiyan's rhythm and output in reverse. There was nothing I could do. They even threw shoes and drinks bottles at him during the concert. At that time, this old six regarded the brothers as pure dear people. Now is it necessary to use one mouthful of brothers after another? What did you do early? Gu Huiyan blushed when someone mentioned whispering at the concert. Fortunately, this guy was thick-skinned and ignored the relevant comments. Only look at what works. For example, someone tells him what happened just now without causing trouble, saying that Sister Pei accidentally started broadcasting, and then was teased by friends until he blushed, but he didn't reveal it first. Ah! When he heard the phrase "eat below," Gu Huiyan couldn't help but look at Pei Jingshu strangely. She is so pure, she knows nothing and dares to say nonsense. But, it's not like they insist on asking or talking nonsense. Pei Jingshu frowned. Although she blushed, she still looked like a superior goddess. In fact, she also had some idol baggage. She could never be the same in front of the camera as she was in private. Well. Gu Huiyan held his forehead silently, saying that he was lucky to be here. If Pei Jingshu was allowed to live broadcast by herself, she would be furious. What these people say online is very different from what they say in reality. If you pay attention to what they say, you will be pissed off 800 times a day. Gu Huiyan has experienced a lot, and he has been scolded all the time along the way. Regardless of his mental state or his face, this little bit of teasing is nothing to Gu Huiyan. But there are some topics that Gu Huiyan really cares about. For example, those who asked Pei Jingshu if he had squeezed him dry, otherwise why would he come out now? That's true. Hey, I've been here recently. Gu Huiyan rubbed his lower back with his right hand, and put his left hand on the table to support his head, making a weak look. The barrage directly exploded on the spot. Good guy, you just stopped pretending, right? Ah. My heart is bursting with emotion. You are so lucky. I'm so envious. There are some topics that boys and girls face, and they are two different situations. You are like Gu Huiyan. He is so shameless when facing this kind of topic. Even if he talks obediently, it doesn't matter. Anyway, he is benefiting from the glory. Why are you sharing this and that? But it was impossible for Pei Jingshu to be as calm as he was. Seeing his actions, she was ashamed and angry at the time. What are you doing? She doesn't know how to curse, and she has to maintain her image in front of the camera, so she can't hit Gu Huiyan, but she is too shy, and Gu Huiyan's words are too explicit, which makes her lose face. I could only stretch out my jade hand and push Gu Huiyan a few times. Sister Pei. Someone posted a barrage saying. It turns out she knows everything. Ahahaha. Some people always say that Pei Jingshu, the goddess of internal entertainment, is not a human firework, but a pure jasmine flower and pure white moonlight. This is the image she has always given people. Such a character shouldn't understand those astringent. But look at this moment, whether it was what the audience said when Pei Jingshu was broadcasting by herself before, or the weak movements Gu Huiyan made to protect her waist, she understood almost everything instantly. This really makes fans excited and excited. On the other hand, Pei Jingshu was already shy enough. When she caught sight of similar ridicule, she was even more embarrassed. She couldn't hold back any longer, so she raised her hand and patted Gu Huiyan a few times. Haha. Gu Huiyan was beaten, but he smiled happily and said. Hey, if I don't bring you like this, you know I'm too weak to beat you now. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him. Didn't Gu Huiyan have a bad cold now? He still had a fever on the way here in the afternoon, so he was definitely right to say weak. But when you score the speech. Just now he talked about the topic related to squeezing it dry, and just now he held his waist and pretended to be weak. Now he said he was weak and weak because of a cold. They have completely different meanings, right? This is like Pei Jingshu making him very weak and beating him. Oh. The water friends watching the live broadcast were all excited. Many people are using the same sentence. You know what your brothers like to watch. Gu Huiyan really has a program effect. Everyone knew this when they first met him, but they didn't expect that in a live broadcast room where he can interact with the audience immediately, the effect of his program will be amplified so much. Gu Huiyan. The brothers were happy to see it, but Pei Jingshu refused to obey. She was so embarrassed that Gu Huiyan continued to tease her, and she struck harder. Having said that, the audience has never seen Pei Jingshu beating someone. Many people couldn't help but take screenshots and record the screen. I feel that just editing this video and posting it will attract a lot of attention. Okay, I was wrong. Gu Huiyan knew property very well. He didn't want to tease Pei Jingshu too much, and it wasn't appropriate to stay too long on a topic. Anyway, the ribs are stewed and the water is connected. Since the live broadcast is on and off, Gu Huiyan has nothing to do and just chats with everyone. He diligently brought Pei Jingshu her coffee and an extra stool. When he came back, he said, "Your house is so big. I feel like I have to get an electric car later, otherwise I will be tired just by running." Originally, the stools used for the live broadcast were in the cloakroom. They didn't want to start broadcasting here, so they kept pulling a piano stool, so naturally they had to move the chairs over. Pei Jingshu's house is really big. The cloakroom and the music room are basically at the opposite corners of Pei Jingshu's house. Running back and forth is not tiring enough. In the past, Gu Huiyan didn't understand people riding bicycles or riding balance scooters at home, but later he discovered that poverty indeed limits people's imagination. There was nothing wrong with what he said, but it sounded different to the ears of the audience. The barrage was furious. "You're home. No, don't tell me that you two are living together. Hey, Sister Pei, didn't you say you were in the hospital that night? Didn't you say you didn't do anything? That is to say, Even if you didn't do anything that night, it doesn't mean you didn't do anything at other times, right? Even if you don't do anything, it doesn't mean you can't live together, right? Nothing wrong. Don't get me wrong. He is sick. To take care of him conveniently. When she saw the barrage, Pei Jingshu subconsciously wanted to explain, but sometimes explanations are just cover UPS, which can make people feel guilty. But if you ask Pei Jingshu to speak directly about the two of them living together, Pei Jingshu is too embarrassed to say it anyway. On the contrary, it was Gu Huiyan. After the old man brought Pei Jingshu's coffee and put it aside, when he saw a similar barrage, he didn't even think about it, grinned and answered directly. "Ah, we are living together." He said it very naturally, as if this matter was an ordinary thing, and it came out of his mouth openly. As soon as these words came out, the barrage exploded on the spot again. The water friends' cries of ghosts and wolves were heard in the live broadcast room. "You two are progressing really fast. It turns out that while we were still immersed in what happened to you two that night, you two were already having fun every night. Gu Huiyan, you really saved the galaxy in your last life. AHH. I'm tired of saying the word envy. What are you doing?" She really couldn't bear to have her explanation ruined by Gu Huiyan for a long time with just a few words. Pei Jingshu blushed like a red apple and couldn't help but push Gu Huiyan. "I'm just telling the truth. Gu Huiyan just happened to bring an apple over. Pei Jingshu didn't have much fruit at home, so they bought it at the expressway service station when they came back. Do you want to eat? It's so sweet." Gu Huiyan looked very natural and even handed Pei Jingshu an apple to eat. "You can eat it yourself." Pei Jingshu rolled her eyes at Gu Huiyan angrily, then grabbed Gu Huiyan's hand and the apple in his hand, and stuffed them into Gu Huiyan's mouth. "Whoa!" Gu Huiyan's moans made Yawazi almost bleed. "Ah ha ha ha. Deserve it?" Netizens were naturally gloating over the misfortune. It was completely public knowledge that Gu Huiyan was never loved or pitied by anyone. Shameless and skinless. Pei Jingshu looked at the barrages in the live broadcast room and Gu Huiyan, who was very adaptable to this environment, and couldn't help but spit angrily. Sometimes she also admired Gu Huiyan, why he could easily say things that she was so ashamed to say. In the face of those foul words, he not only didn't care, but was able to extremely pull them back and forth. There is a video copy on the internet that says this. Gu Huiyan, a well-known social gangster, 5-star General MacArthur once said frankly that if I were the same age as him, maybe with his social skills, we would never have to experience war again. Pei Jingshu always thought it was exaggerated when she saw similar videos before, but now she feels that the description seems to be very appropriate. This person is really shameless. After the laughter. "So you really went to the hospital that night?" There are brothers who really care about Gu Huiyan. Although Gu Huiyan has not deliberately explained it since he appeared on the scene, if you listen to his nasal voice, you can definitely tell that he has a bad cold. Also, he has been wearing a mask from beginning to end. So what kind of mask should he wear at home? Ah! Aren't you just really feeling unwell? Ridicule aside, those blind-eyed people in Gu Huiyan's family still care about him. "Ah, I am indeed in the hospital." Gu Huiyan turned his head sideways, put the mask on his chin and gnawed on an apple. This person was very meticulous, and he specifically kept the distance between him and Pei Jingshu when placing the stool. He also explained, saying, "I refuted the rumors at the time because I didn't want people to come and watch again. There were indeed too many people when there was a car accident last time." Now when Gu Huiyan recalls the car accident in Guangzhou, the people who gathered around him in the hospital for those few days all have a headache. "I remember that at that time, their head nurse came over and expressed to Gu Huiyan tactfully, asking him if he was willing to change to a larger hospital. The environment and conditions of their hospital were not that good. To put it bluntly, Our temple is too small and we cannot accommodate your Buddha. Otherwise, why don't you choose another place? This is also the reason why Gu Huiyan was discharged from the hospital as soon as he got better. He really didn't want to cause trouble to the hospital. Being a celebrity, especially a household name, can be such a headache sometimes. When he said this, it was considered as a clarification for the team, to save others from saying that his team clarified things randomly. Some fans approved. The other part is starting to get really naughty again. They said. So nothing really happened that night. You kid is really stupid. You can't hold on even 2 steps. Tisk tisk tisk, you're so young. Gu Huiyan. I felt despised for a moment. And just at this time, everyone should try to eat some healthy things. Pei Jingshu, who was officially confirmed by Gu Huiyan that she was indeed in the hospital that night, finally felt proud, proving that what she said was true, and couldn't help but want to persuade the audience. It feels like their minds are really confused by those astringent things all day long. What have you been thinking about all day long? How come everyone is like Gu Huiyan? Thinking of this, she rolled her eyes at Gu Huiyan and said, "Don't be like someone else, thinking about dirty things all day long." As soon as these words came out, puff. Ha ha ha. The audience went crazy laughing. Someone is brushing. Gu Huiyan, you have a day like this too. Laughing to death. This live broadcast was so effective from the beginning. The audience couldn't help but wonder, how exciting will it be in the future? Sure enough, only Pei Ban takes care of CP Candy is the sweetest. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 358. A big hit. In the live broadcast room where Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu officially announced their reunion, the excitement was outrageous. When Pei Jingshu accidentally started broadcasting for a few seconds, nearly 10,000 people came into the live broadcast room. As time went by, the number of people was increasing. About 10 minutes after the broadcast started, the number of people online at the same time in the live broadcast room had already exceeded 10,000+. That's it? Or because the broadcast started in advance, the vast majority of fans and viewers didn't know and hadn't arrived yet. It is not difficult to imagine that as time goes by, the flow of people in the live broadcast room will become higher and higher. It doesn't matter if there are a lot of people, but the most important thing is that the fan viscosity is also high. Let's not talk about the dazzling barrage in the live broadcast room, let's talk about the ones giving gifts. There are all kinds of gaudy gifts available, ranging from gifts worth dozens or hundreds of yuan to gifts worth thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. According to statistics, in just 10 minutes after the broadcast started, Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu received at least 1 million gifts in the live broadcast room where they officially announced their reunion. What an exaggeration. People can't help but sigh. Is this the appeal of a celebrity king? Usually, many people always lament the high traffic and popularity in the live broadcast rooms of those internet celebrity anchors, and the huge number of gifts, which makes their fans compare them with celebrities. But when two celebrities like Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu, who are in the pyramid of traffic, word of mouth, popularity, celebrity status, etc. in the entertainment industry, have no special purpose, do not carry goods or advertise, they just start chatting. When? Look at the grand occasion in the live broadcast room. You will realize how small internet celebrities look in front of real stars. You guys, stop giving gifts, thank you everyone. Looking at the gifts flying all over the sky, Gu Huiyan felt a little embarrassed. Some of the people giving away gifts were acquaintances, some artist friends who came to watch and join in the fun, giving away gifts to gain face. But most of them are strangers. Although some of them are particularly famous and praised by some netizens, Gu Huiyan has basically never done live broadcasts, so he doesn't know them at all. People in the live broadcast room were not surprised by this and said, "They are all people who support you. I see you don't live broadcast often, so what's the point of this little gift? Is there anyone who doesn't care about money? Why are you pretending to be a big-tailed wolf? The live broadcast is very interesting. You can see the good and bad words here for the first time." Gu Huiyan was not angry either, but said, "It's not that we're not curious, it's mainly because we don't get paid for our work. So we didn't do anything, but a group of friends spent tens of thousands of dollars. Those people's money wasn't happy beans, it wasn't blown by the strong wind. Why? Give it to us for free." As soon as these words came out, many people were really touched. He really thinks about his brothers. Sigh, as much as I hate to admit it, he really isn't greedy for the money in my pocket. He really hasn't changed. In the past 2 years, there have been ups and downs, and Gu Huiyan's career and relationship have basically been ups and downs. But what makes the audience very happy is that Gu Huiyan has never changed, and he has always been quite down to earth. He is still the down-to-earth and simple artist who accepts gifts from fans at the airport for more than 9 yuan and 9 yuan. This point has not changed even though he has now become the king of music. Ding, the host's grounding energy has been exposed, and the reward system points at 91x33. I don't know what happened in the live broadcast room, but many people were spontaneously moved. Originally, everyone was really moved by Gu Huiyan's words and felt that he had always been quite simple. Even Sister Pei Jingshupai, who was sitting aside, looked at him with a little more tenderness. But who knew that Gu Huiyan, the old man, turned around and said with a silly smile, "And to be honest, we don't lack the money for this gift." As soon as these words came out, there were a series of question marks in the live broadcast room, and then the curses started. "Good guy, I was really touched just now. Okay, I think your boy is blushing, isn't he? You old six, you, beep 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 beep. Haha, just kidding." Of course, Gu Huiyan had to make amends as soon as possible. In the past, people scolded him for having low emotional intelligence, but he gradually developed his emotional intelligence. He said, "The main thing is that we don't make money from this. There is nothing wrong with this. For third and fourth tier artists, the income of celebrities may not be as good as that of internet celebrities, and many internet celebrities may even beat them. But for frontline artists, especially artists like Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu, it is definitely not a problem for their annual income to be higher than that of top internet celebrities. For example, Pei Jingshu may earn tens of millions of endorsement fees for a big name every year. Of course, it would be meaningless if you compare it with other internet celebrities who are very exaggerated in their sales. Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu are not short of money. They are not live broadcasters and cannot broadcast every day. So why come here to grab food? There's nothing wrong with what he said, so the rhythm in the live broadcast room was a little slower. But some people will also say, "Just accept the gift, don't say it's so high sounding." The most disgusting ones are those who say stop brushing and thank brother one after another. I never saw you accepting gifts. Maybe they are used to seeing these anchors and celebrities who pretend to be crazy and make everyone think that their values are correct, and then accept gifts at the same time, so now netizens have become somewhat resistant to those words. Even if the person who said that was Gu Huiyan, they would still be like this. Although Gu Huiyan didn't thank his brother one by one, he didn't turn off the gift receiving function. Anyone who doesn't turn off the gift receiving function is just a hooligan. Someone originally scolded Gu Huiyan for being hypocritical in the live broadcast room, but who knew that the next moment? Oh yes, they have a function to turn off rewards, right? Gu Huiyan saw someone saying to turn off rewards, so his eyes lit up, and then he actually looked for this function in the live broadcast screen. Here, I'll help you find. Pei Jingshu chuckled, and then took the initiative to help Gu Huiyan find the function. The two of them casually turned off the function in front of hundreds of thousands of viewers in the live broadcast room. Ah ha ha ha, that's a slap in the face. Some fans laughed. Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu had never let anyone down. Sister Pei is really not short of money. Just look at the background of her apartment in the live broadcast room. When has Pei Jingshu, who grew up in a wealthy family, ever been short of money? Gu Huiyan grew up in a poor family. His mother often told him that children of poor people would become rich early. Forget it, even though I have been poor since I was young, I also know that a gentleman loves money and gets it in a proper way, and does not receive reward without merit. In addition, the income from current work is quite high, so there is no need to covet this. Live broadcast today. It is a live broadcast that is a reunion official announcement between the two of them. If it is linked to money, it will feel meaningless. Just imagine, the two of them were chatting happily about each other, and suddenly a hero came over and swiped rockets, airplanes, yachts, and guardians. The sweet two people turned around and said, "Thank you, brother, for the rocket aircraft yacht. You say it's a drama or not? Don't thank me. It's not like you always feel sorry for someone who has spent so much money on you. So turning off the reward function is really a must. As for whether to slap those little black guys in the face or not, that doesn't matter, they are just 6. Okay, now we can chat normally." After turning off the reward function, Gu Huiyan could safely hide and eat the apple. I also looked at the time and saw that the ribs were still being stewed in the kitchen. After reading the time, Gu Huiyan stuffed his cell phone into his apron. No one in Pei Jingshu's family cooks. The aprons are all new and there is a pocket on the chest that can just fit the cell phone. I don't know if I saw the apron Gu Huiyan was wearing. Someone in the live broadcast room asked. "Are you cooking? You two haven't eaten yet. What delicious food can you make for Sister Pei tonight?" "Sister Pei, let him eat for me." 6. Don't. Not sure if she caught a glimpse of the teasing comments, Pei Jingshu's pretty face turned red, and she subconsciously frowned, wanting to reprimand those who were so arrogant. But when I thought about how I had never won against them, I simply didn't want to say anything, pretending not to know. But as soon as her expression and appearance came out, those people knew that she had noticed those words. Ahaha, she saw it. "Sister Pei talked to me, I'm so excited. Sister Pei, I want to feed you some too." Pei Jingshu. She felt that it was a mistake for her to exist in this live broadcast room, and she also regretted agreeing to live broadcast with Gu Huiyan. Without staff, she really couldn't adapt to the live broadcast mode of chatting. In comparison, Gu Huiyan was very adaptable. He saw Pei Jingshu's displeasure and took the initiative to help those people and said, "Sorry, she only eats my noodles." Oh. Suddenly, the live broadcast room started to boo. Pei Jingshu also blushed at being teased like this. She quietly tugged at the corner of Gu Huiyan's clothes and said, "Can you please stop talking about this topic?" She also knew that Gu Huiyan was defending her and what he said was quite serious, but because the topic was not very serious when it was brought up, Pei Jingshu didn't want to bring it up at all. Haha, good. The apple was almost eaten and was thrown into the trash can by Gu Huiyan. He clapped his hands while grabbing the mask and pulled the stool to sit next to Pei Jingshu. Seeing someone in the live broadcast room asking them what to eat for dinner, Gu Huiyan changed the subject and said, "I stewed pork ribs at night, and then I plan to make some noodles. To make it simple." After hearing this, someone in the live broadcast room said, "It's not easy for celebrities to cook for themselves, tisk tisk, it's not easy. I thought celebrities went out to eat every day. Is this the first day you met my brother? 2. In the eyes of many people, celebrities seem to be a little too deified, like gods in heaven, who do not eat fireworks on earth, but drink dew and eat delicacies. Even cooking a meal by yourself was done as if it were something very exaggerated. That is to say, Gu Huiyan's character design has always been relatively down to earth. In Crystal Love season, he had done all kinds of fancy food by himself, otherwise he would definitely be said to be a character design. When someone asked them why they didn't go out to eat, Gu Huiyan explained patiently. Because neither of us feels very well today, we don't really want to go out to eat. If the takeaway is delivered, it won't taste the same, so I bought some ingredients and I'll cook it like this. That's what he said, and it was quite ordinary. Pei Jingshu didn't notice anything unusual. But the style of painting in the live broadcast room is different. First, many people posted a series of question marks, followed by barrages. What's wrong with you two? What's wrong with you? We know your little boy, what's going on with Sister Pei? Looking at Sister Pei, you don't feel uncomfortable at all, right? Gu Huiyan had a high fever at the concert a few days ago and went to the hospital in a coma. His nasal voice was very obvious now and he was wearing a mask. Everyone knew what was going on with him. But Pei Jingshu seems to be the same as before from beginning to end. Why is she uncomfortable? Fans must be concerned. But this issue seems a bit sensitive. Isn't this? When someone asked what was wrong, Pei Jingshu's pretty face immediately turned red. She had never been a girl who could hide things in her heart, and it was easy to feel guilty when someone asked her such things. Ahem. Gu Huiyan didn't expect to spill the beans on this matter, so he just wanted to deal with it casually and said. Her legs are uncomfortable and it's difficult to walk. Gu Huiyan is also kind-hearted. You can say that Pei Jingshu is not feeling well anywhere. Even if she is on her period, everyone will understand. You have to be honest and say that her legs are not feeling well. Oh. As soon as they heard that Pei Jingshu had difficulty walking and then looked at Pei Jingshu's shy appearance in the live broadcast footage, many viewers seemed to have reached that point all at once. Then they all started cheering. Wouldn't you two just? Last night? Zun do fake do. How long have we been talking about it? We just last night. Gulalu, I really look down on you. There won't be any problems with your kid. If you were fine, Sister Pei would have given birth to her third child by now. This rhythm, it doesn't matter if you don't have it, once you have it, it will be out of control. It's not, that, don't talk nonsense, it's not what you think. Gu Huiyan still had the heart to explain, but unfortunately the more he explained, the more it seemed like a cover-up. Pei Jingshu's expression had already given them both away. It's all your fault, you have to talk nonsense. Seeing those filthy words, Pei Jingshu was so ashamed that she couldn't help but raise her jade hand and push Gu Huiyan a few times. Her face was very red. She had very fair skin and her blush was as obvious as possible. Now she wished she could blush to the roots of her ears, and her neck was also a little red. Some people thought she was sick. What happened last night? She was too embarrassed to look at Huiyan when they were together, but in the end, this old man was hugged out in front of hundreds of thousands of people online at the same time in the live broadcast room. You let her do it in the future. How to be a human being. The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. Pei Jingshu even raised her beautiful hand and slapped Gu Huiyan a few times. She was really not a girl who liked violence, but she really couldn't stand it. No. It's not my fault. Gu Huiyan still looked innocent and just chatted a few words. God knows how they could figure out what happened last night from just a few words he said. At this time, the barrage in the live broadcast room is still going on. Wak, it really is. Ahaha, you too. Tai Shi is dead, so funny. Everyone was just joking and didn't expect that it was really like this, but they didn't expect that they got it right. Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu's reaction was basically actively admitting it. This one really made them laugh to death. I have never seen such an honest celebrity. Snapped. Even Gu Huiyan's boss Zhang Dan and Pei Jingshu's manager sister Pei Ya, who were peering at the screen from the far end, could only slap themselves on the forehead with speechless faces. These two. That's too honest. You two can't say everything to others. Ah ha ha ha. In comparison, the audience was quite excited. Some even asked Gu Huiyan about the details, asking if they could expand on the details, and asked Gu Huiyan how he felt. If I expand on this, there is no need to broadcast tonight, and I don't have to hang around anymore. I can pack up and go to the sewing machine. Gu Huiyan, who was spanked by Pei Jingshu, rubbed his arm and retorted angrily. You still said that. Pei Jingshu turned around and glared at him angrily, really about to be driven into panic. Ah, okay, I won't tell you if I don't tell you. Gu Huiyan immediately begged for mercy. Pei Jingshu rolled her eyes at him. She originally thought that he could control the situation. This social gangster could interact with the people in the live broadcast room. But who would have thought that he was even weaker than her? She might indeed be made red-faced by those people with just a few words, but at least she wouldn't be like Gu Huiyan, who hugged her for everything. Ah ha ha. The audience laughed. Some people said that Gu Huiyan was a strict wife, but no matter what, they were quite sweet. At the same time, hot searches related to the two people also topped the platform's hot search list. At this time, in the live broadcast room where Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu officially announced their reunion, the number of people in the live broadcast room soared, and it seemed to have reached nearly 1 million. I'll go, are there so many people? Gu Huiyan couldn't believe it when he saw the message his assistant sent him. Over 1 million people were watching them online at the same time, which was really exaggerated. When Pei Jingshu heard this, her delicate body trembled, and then she covered her pretty face and temporarily left the camera for a while. Why are you going? Gu Huiyan asked. Pei Jingshu blushed and glared at him. Her eyes seemed to say, how embarrassing it is for you to talk about my inconvenience in walking in front of more than 1 million people. Do you think I should feel embarrassed? Don't I want to lose face? Hey. She felt that she was really going to lose face tonight. The character design and other things were already in disrepair, but now they completely collapsed. She seemed to be able to imagine that when she went out to perform in the future and the audience teased her, she would not be able to hold back the scene of her failure on stage. Thinking of these, she wished she could give Gu Huiyan a double blow. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 359. Okay, let's talk. It's all my fault. I'm leaving. Gu Huiyan had to go and see what was going on with the stewed ribs in the pot. The time was set, but you had to watch the stew in person, otherwise the pot would be useless if it burned dry. Pei Jingshu. Aim. Pei Jingshu's eyes were quite complicated, including speechlessness, helplessness, and a bit of resentment. Originally, she called Gu Huiyan over so that Gu Huiyan could help her deal with the oral pleasures of the people in the live broadcast room. At the beginning, everything was fine, but who knew that this old six would be kicked into a trap by the people in the live broadcast room? Now, everything was messed up. He patted his ass and left, leaving her alone here. How to deal with these people? What's funny is that at this time, there are still people in the live broadcast room posting. Lao Lu is going to feed Sister Pei, right? I knew I must have gone downstairs to feed Sister Pei. Pei Jingshu. Even though he had a good personality like her, he sent a message to his assistant in shame and anger, asking if he could ban those people. He. This scene is quite interesting. Pei Jingshu and Gu Huiyan like this are also quite rare. I always feel that she is a bit cute when she is shy, so Gu Huiyan always likes to tease her. But now, I still have to show her a clear path. Cough. Gu Huiyan coughed lightly and said. If not, just take everyone around for a tour, and we'll talk when I get back. Gu Huixin said that as luxurious as Pei Jingshu's house was, just walking around was enough to make these people marvel and forget what happened just now. It wasn't that Gu Huiyan wanted to leave her alone, it was mainly because they originally planned to start the show after dinner, but Pei Jingshu accidentally started the show early. Now Gu Huiyan had to watch the pot and cook the meal before accompanying her. New. Pei Jingshu was definitely not angry with him. Gu Huiyan was still giving her food. I'm leaving. Gu Huiyan ran to the kitchen with a chuckle. The ribs have been stewed for a while and will be ready in a while. Gu Huiyan is ready to prepare the next thing. Almost noodles and pork ribs come out together, a fragrant dinner, so exciting. It was probably because it had been stewed for a while. The aroma of meat in the kitchen was very strong. When Gu Huiyan walked in and smelled the smell, he felt a familiar feeling coming back. Gugu. My stomach is growling. Gu Huixin said to cook quickly. He would have dinner with Pei Jingshu later, and he could also watch the live broadcast for a while. So Gu Huiyan took the pot and ran to heat the oil. Hoo. The range hood installed in Pei Jingshu's house is good, the sound is not very loud, and the effect of extracting the range hood is quite good. When MD is turned on, Gu Huiyan can't even smell the aroma of pork ribs. Of course, no matter how quiet the sound is, it is easy to not hear the outside sounds in front of the stove. For example, Gu Huiyan had just fried the poached eggs, poured hot water into the pot and was waiting for it to boil. When he turned around, he found Pei Jingshu standing at the door, holding her cell phone and looking at him with a pretty face. I'll go, are you a ghost? Gu Huiyan held his forehead silently, as Pei Jingshu had shocked him before. Pei Jingshu glared at him and didn't say anything back. She was not the kind of girl who liked to haggle over everything. She just walked over, pointed to the live broadcast on her phone and told Gu Huiyan. Why don't we turn it off first and then turn it back on after we finish eating? Ah. Gu Huiyan scratched his head and couldn't help but ask. No, what's going on? Judging from her flushed face, I must know that she can't cope again. But it was clear that Gu Huiyan had just asked her to take the group of people for a tour of the house. Pei Jingshu's house was so big, it was easy to pass the time by walking around, right? That is. Pei Jingshu's eyes were evasive, her pretty face was red, she held a pink fist in her jade hand shrunk behind her, and her lips were pursed tightly, making it difficult to speak. But in the end, she leaned into Gu Huiyan's ear and told what happened. Just now, Pei Jingshu listened to Gu Huiyan and took the live broadcast equipment to take a walk around the house. At first, everything was quite normal. As Pei Jingshu led everyone to divert their attention and visit the home, many viewers were gradually attracted by the luxury of Pei Jingshu's home. Surprised. At first, some people asked Pei Jingshu what the various things in Pei Jingshu's house were used for. They wanted to take a look at the window, and asked her how many floors it was. These are quite normal. Until Pei Jingshu took the camera and led everyone to the floor-to-ceiling window to look at the scenery outside the window. A Shiuer asked Pei Jingshu, the scenery here is so beautiful, have you and my brother, Gu Huiyan, eat noodles here? As soon as those words came out. Puff. Goose. A group of people in the live broadcast room understood it almost instantly and laughed out loud. Because we have talked about the topic of eating down there many times, almost no one in the live broadcast room where Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu are reuniting can take the topic of eating noodles seriously. I always think wrong. There is really no way. What? Why have you eaten noodles before, here? It must have been in a restaurant. At that time, Pei Jingshu was still trying to pretend to be stupid and pass the test. She really rarely broadcast live broadcasts and would not ignore such words at all. Usually professional anchors would ignore such sensitive remarks, but she was just the opposite. Because the words caught her attention, she actually answered them. Although she knew it was a joke, Pei Jingshu still answered seriously. But the problem is, those people are so stubborn. Oh! Someone said in an exclamatory tone. It turned out to be in the restaurant. You two were eating noodles in a restaurant. That place is nice. Eat at the dining table, tisk tisk. Obviously there's nothing wrong with what you said, why can't I just look straight at it? Many Luren viewers in the live broadcast room who did not participate in the comments were dumbfounded at this moment and found that they really could not look directly at the topic related to eating noodles no matter what. Obviously all the rhythm people are talking about eating noodles. There is nothing wrong with carrying these two words alone anywhere, but at this moment in this live broadcast room, anything related to these two words it makes people think crookedly. Even just saying the word eat alone feels wrong. In this live broadcast room, the building is crooked and its color has changed. You. Pei Jingshu was really embarrassed. To be honest, she really thought she didn't understand what these people were talking about, but having experienced those topics just now, she really understood what they meant by eating noodles. She doesn't know why either. She was thin-skinned, and because she understood instantly, she soon became shy and blushed unconsciously, which made it impossible for her to pretend not to understand. And the blusher she blushed, the more fun the gang had and the more they had to tease her. For example, Pei Jingshu really didn't want to continue the topic just now, so she tried to change the topic and took everyone to visit elsewhere. As a result, when you ran to the bathroom, someone asked you two if you eated noodles on the toilet. When I ran to the bathroom, someone else said that you two must have been eating noodles in the bathtub. Needless to say, when you get to the sofa in the living room, those people will directly ask you how many times you have eaten noodles on the sofa. It really doesn't work anymore. I can't hold it any longer. Pei Jingshu could still answer questions at first, but later she didn't dare to look directly at the barrage. She even asked her assistant if she could turn off the barrage in the live broadcast room. However, the assistant replied that the barrage cannot be turned off, and we have to rely on these people to liven up the atmosphere, otherwise the live broadcast will be boring. But even if it's not closed, Pei Jingshu can't hold on. At last. Have no choice. He had no choice but to come to Gu Huayan for help. She thought, she was thin-skinned, but Gu Huayan was thick-skinned. At least she should find someone to help her share the burden, she really can't hold it anymore. This. After hearing the full story, Gu Huayan was a little confused at the time and couldn't help but turn his head and glance at the live broadcast room on his mobile phone. At this moment, there are still people in the live broadcast room frantically watching. I guess you two must have eaten noodles in the kitchen. Gu Huayan, no need to ask. I eat noodles like crazy. Ahahaha, that's so interesting. Let me tell you, I have a hunch that after this live broadcast, the eating noodles meme will definitely become popular. You guys. Gu Huayan stopped what he was doing, took the phone, and raised his hand to hug Pei Jingshu. His hand gently rubbed Pei Jingshu's head, as if to comfort her. Maybe it was true that she was too helpless by these people. Pei Jingshu stretched out her hands and wrapped them around Gu Huayan's waist. She leaned obediently on Gu Huayan's left side, above his chest and below his shoulders, and buried her head completely, looking like shameless to see people. Of course, it seems like I was bullied. I feel pity for Pei Jingshu like this. Gu Huayan also felt a little sorry for her. For such a shy person, it was hard for him to imagine what Pei Jingshu must have been like when she told him what happened just now. It's really explosive. No wonder she could actually bring up the matter of don't broadcast it yet. Gu Huayan said that this would at least cast a psychological shadow on Pei Jingshu. If this was just a test, it would be hard to say whether it could be opened again tonight. You go and have a rest first, I'll just broadcast it. It was not convenient to put a mobile phone in the kitchen, but Pei Jingshu figured out that she would have to let those people talk nonsense, so Gu Huiyan put the mobile phone holder in the kitchen and let Pei Jingshu go out and take a rest. To be honest, he also wants to shut down the broadcast, but the problem is that the number of people in the live broadcast room has exceeded 1 million. It is really not appropriate for you to shut down the broadcast at this time. Pei Jingshu Zhen nodded, obediently got up from Gu Huiyan's chest, and walked outside. Call. Throwing the phone away and leaving the camera, she finally felt much more relaxed. On the other side, Gu Huiyan. You kid, don't act like a good boy when you get an advantage. The water friends didn't feel at all that they had done anything wrong, and even said, if it weren't for us, would Sister Pei allow you to hold her like this? If I were you, I would have to thank us very much. Haha, although the angle is strange, there's nothing wrong with it. Tell me, where are you two going to have noodles tonight? Gu Huiyan was obviously not as thin-skinned as Pei Jingshu. This old man was as thick-skinned as a city wall. He put his cell phone there and ignored it completely. He turned back to look at the pot. Good guy, you are ignoring us, aren't you? Cold treatment, right? Cold violence, right? Okay, we usually talk to each other as brothers, but now we are engaging in cold violence. Those people didn't stop at all and continued talking. Gu Huiyan would occasionally glance at it and couldn't help but smile bitterly and said, I'm not afraid to tell you the truth. It's not yet our official broadcast time. To put it bluntly, it's a welfare time. I haven't even eaten yet. I was thinking of letting you watch it with Sister Pei. After a quick look, it turned out that you insisted on teasing her. Now it's fine, I don't have to visit anymore, you can only accompany me and cook here. As soon as he finished speaking, he turned back to cooking noodles, completely ignoring the millions of people online at the same time. It makes a lot of people very angry at once, but if you say something to refute, they don't seem to be able to express it well. After all, Gu Huiyan's speech was quite clear and coherent. After the call ended, he was stunned and didn't let the netizens find anything wrong. If you think about it now, it's true. It's not yet time for the broadcast of the two of them. It was originally broadcast in advance as a benefit, but they didn't cherish it. Now they are cooking with Gu Huiyan and they can't ask for anything. After all, Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu, the live broadcast does not accept gifts, does not bring goods, and does not advertise, and I do not owe them anything. With that said, it seems like they really did something wrong. No. Not all of them, but some. It's all because of you guys who like oral pleasure. They started to taunt each other. At LSP, this is good, you have gone too far. Good guy, you act like you didn't fart just now. You were just following Lahi, now you are calling us LSP? Okay. The two sides started working like this. He. Gu Huiyan glanced at them occasionally, but didn't care and let them spar each other. You said that they are always in debt. It would be great to visit Sister Pei's house. You must come and cook with him. Speaking of which, Gu Huiyan is quite luxurious. If an anchor has more than 100,000 yuan in the live broadcast room, he has to thank God and beg his grandfather to sue his grandmother. With such an attitude, he wishes he could support all these people as his parents. Only Gu Huiyan could easily put aside millions of people and let them watch him cook. It's funny to say that even though Gu Huiyan was like this, they didn't leave. Instead of decreasing, the flow of people continued to increase. The excitement in the live broadcast room was not low, because both sides were slandering each other, and there was a lot of back and forth. This was such a grand occasion, it was the first time that the anchor ignored anyone and the two sides exchanged insults. What Gu Huiyan didn't expect was that some Shiuer made a correction. This old man is trying to provoke you, can't you tell? As soon as these words came out, the two sides who were exchanging insults suddenly realized, why should they accuse who is right and who is wrong? The audience is right, whatever you do is right. If you want to blame Gu Huiyan for sowing discord. You old six you, beep beep beep. As a result, a holy war against Gu Huiyan began in the live broadcast room. When you open your little mouth, you can hear the singing of birds and the fragrance of flowers. As for Gu Huiyan, he didn't have time to pay attention to them because the meal was ready. It's time to eat. He turned on the rear camera of his phone, put it on a stand on the side of the dining table, and then went to serve the food. Now, at least while they are eating, they can't see what the audience is saying. I'll help you. Pei Jingshu, wearing fluffy white slippers, walked into the kitchen unhurriedly to help serve the dishes. There weren't many dishes, so Gu Huiyan stewed some pork ribs, one bowl stewed alone, another stewed with cabbage and vermicelli, and 2 bowls of soy pot noodles. The braised pork ribs are so tender that the entire plate is filled with ribs. It's so tempting no matter how you look at it. Needless to say, the bowl of cabbage vermicelli simmered in pork rib soup next door is so full of soup that it is sauce-colored, and the heat is rising, making your mouth full of food. Of course, if you ask Gu Huiyan what he likes most, it is actually the bowl of hot pot noodles. This needs no introduction. Gu Huiyan's standard delicacies have almost become his endorsement. After recording Crystal Love Season, many viewers can almost think of Gu Huiyan when they think of hot pot noodles. The food made by Gu Huiyan is indeed a more down-to-earth meal. The appearance may not be as good as the specialty shops and Western restaurants outside, but if you want to talk about the taste, it is not bad at all. Suck. Pei Jingshu added a mouthful of noodles and stuffed it into her little mouth. After all, she is a lady. She always eats slowly and calmly, appearing very quiet. She eats noodles in small bites, taking her time and not being in a hurry. Are you going to look after Gu Huiyan again? The old man picked up the boss's lump with his chopsticks, swung it in the air and blew it hard, cooling it down a little, and then stuffed it into his mouth. 2 people. Just like people from 2 worlds. The water friends next door couldn't stand it anymore. Hey, hey. Shame on you. No, I changed my waistcoat. I'm embarrassed to say I'm a Gu Huiyan fan. This eye-catching bag is really embarrassing. Even the fans of Gu Huiyan's family can't stand it anymore. Being his fan is really embarrassing all the time, okay. But let me tell you something, this guy's way of eating is really down to earth. Because a lot of people do eat noodles, and he likes to eat them this way. It's really cool. Gu Huiyan's brain system also beeped at the right time, but Gu Huiyan didn't pay much attention. Try this. It is worth mentioning that Gu Huiyan was very considerate and put meat into Pei Jingshu's bowl. Okay, I can't eat anymore, it's too much. Pei Jingshu waved her hands repeatedly. She had a small appetite and didn't eat much at night. It's okay, you've lost so much weight, it doesn't matter if you eat more, Gu Huiyan said casually. Ding dong dong. As a result, the phone rang at this time. Gu Huiyan picked it up and saw that it was Pei Ya calling. As soon as the call was connected, Pei Ya was heard saying in a suppressed angry tone. You let her eat so much at night because you're afraid she won't gain weight, right? Gu Huiyan didn't know how to answer for a while. As a result, Pei Jingshu grabbed the phone at this time and said. It's rare for him to cook me a meal. I'll be fine if I eat more. These words really almost made those fans melt. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Bulletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 360. At this time, the barrage in the live broadcast room was furious. Sister Pei, who are you trying to sweeten to death? Sister Pei, I like to eat noodles, noodles are my favorite. Ft. Don't get involved in joking at this time, brother. Pei Jingshu has always been a husband and wife to Gu Huiyan. The two of them broke up, but no one has ever seen Pei Jingshu dislike Gu Huiyan. No matter what Gu Huiyan does, Pei Jingshu is always willing to accompany him. As a female star, Pei Jingshu should not eat at night, let alone eat more. Her appetite has never been big. But she doesn't care about that because Gu Huiyan cooks her a rare dinner. After all, this dinner is really as rare as she said. Throughout the years they fell in love and broke up. After Crystal Love season, the two of them lived in two places and started a long distance relationship. They rarely lived together and spent less time together than apart. Gu Huiyan really didn't give her anything for a long time. I cooked a meal and ate it. Even if it was just noodles and pork ribs, without many dishes, she was still satisfied and felt very warm. I can't control you anymore. Pei Ya silently held her forehead, showing that Pei Jingshu is a love brain. After the meal, Gu Huiyan put away the dishes and washed the pots. Pei Jingshu was there to help him. Gu Huiyan said he didn't need to let her rest nearby, but she said she didn't do anything, so how could she just eat? If both of them are not feeling well, how can there be any reason for one person to work? Gu Huiyan couldn't help but smile. Pei Jingshu is not a pretentious girl. Although she is an otherworldly fairy in the hearts of all her fans, and her long, fair, and skinny hands should only be used to carry lipstick and play the piano, she never does. A greasy monkey whose hands are stained with food because of his stinginess. Sister Pei is so perfect. Many fans were envious of Gu Huiyan just looking at that scene. Some even said, "If you have such a wife, what more can a husband ask for?" One thing even Pei Ya has to admit is that only here with Gu Huiyan, Pei Jingshu's reputation is always so good. Before, the team always likes to package Pei Jingshu into a high-ranking and pure image. Of course, this image is correct. Most artists follow this route, and it is also convenient for high-end endorsements. But it's just too unrelatable, and it's easy to be criticized for excessive marketing. But since falling in love with Gu Huiyan, this shortcoming has been completely eliminated. Gu Huiyan is so down-to-earth, and he can bring Pei Jingshu to have some down-to-earth, which is a perfect complement to each other. It's pretty perfect. In the past, Pei Ya didn't like Gu Huiyan and even disliked him. One of the main reasons was that she felt that he had lowered Pei Jingshu's grade. However, she gradually discovered that the audience's reputation is sometimes far more important than certain grades. After washing the dishes and tidying up, I looked at the time and it was time to officially start broadcasting. Gu Huiyan was almost stuck. He went over and took the phone back at 8 o'clock. Before that, the phone had been stuck on the stand and stood aside. You kid definitely did it on purpose. No one asked Gu Huiyan whether it was intentional or accidental. This old six was definitely stuck. It is worth mentioning that even though Gu Huiyan ignored these people for nearly half an hour, the number of people in the live broadcast room was still ridiculously high, with millions of people like this. What an exaggeration. But for Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu, it didn't seem like it was too much. After all, the two of you now are well-deserved kings and queens. What's more, this is their official reunion live broadcast. Taking their mobile phones to the live broadcast equipment prepared in the cloakroom, their live broadcast officially started. Because I had just finished eating, I felt warm after eating a bowl of noodles. Gu Huiyan's condition seemed to be much better, and his nasal voice was not as strong as before. He was picking his teeth with a toothpick at the moment. In comparison, Pei Jingshu was in great contrast to him. The short-haired beauty Pei Jingshu wearing a light blue sweater sat upright and obediently to the side. She was a little cold when she wasn't smiling, but her eyebrows were full of smiles. Gentle. Sure enough, Pei Jingshu is what the audience likes only when she is in love. Gu Huiyan, can you please sit down and be honest? Look at how careless you are. What can you do that is worthy of my sister Pei? The barrage was flowing wildly, and a group of people were trolling Gu Huayan. Fortunately, Gu Huayan had a strong psychological quality and completely ignored these words as if he hadn't seen them. I don't know if I was autistic because of the gang's eating noodles joke just now. Neither Gu Huayan nor Pei Jingshu was in a hurry to answer the audience's words. Pei Jingshu watched the barrage obediently, while Gu Huayan was picking his teeth. The two of them acted as if nothing happened, as if they were not watching the live broadcast at all. Why don't you two say something? The audience can't stand it anymore. In other words, this is your official announcement of the reunion live broadcast, but you two are stupid and don't say anything here. Are you waiting for us to do something on our own? Hey, knitting. Pook. Seeing similar comments, Pei Jingshu couldn't help laughing. She raised her jade hand to cover the lower half of her face and smiled softly. Then he raised his hand and poked Gu Huayan and said, "Don't you want to say something? Well, say something." Gu Huayan nodded, maybe he had finished flossing his teeth, and he finally sat up. He leaned in front of the mobile phone lens used for the live broadcast and looked up and down. He did not intend to receive any comments from the audience. Instead, he turned to look at Pei Jingshu. Thinking about it, since it is a live broadcast of official announcement of the reunion, I must ask some questions first, right? Then, Gu Huayan naturally grabbed Pei Jingshu's slender wrist and placed the whole hand on the table in front of the live broadcast camera. Then, in front of the camera, he put his hand in a 10 fingers interlocked gesture. Posture, holding Pei Jingshu's hand. He grabbed her hand, shook it in front of the camera, grinned and said, "As you can see, they are getting back together." As soon as he finished speaking, the live broadcast room immediately became aroused, and the barrage was furious. "Good guy, do you move so naturally? Ah! I finally heard the rightful owner talk about getting back together. God knows how long I have been looking forward to this scene. Haha, look at Sister Pei's face, it's turning red so quickly." Although almost everyone knows that Gu Huayan and Pei Jingshu are back together, the news seen on the internet and the word reunion coming out of the owner's mouth are completely different, right? God knows how excited the audience was when Gu Huayan held Pei Jingshu's hand and said, "Get back together." Certainly. If you want to say that what excites them more, it should be Pei Jingshu's beautiful face that is visibly rosy. Pei Jingshu blushes very easily. She is a cold fair-skinned beauty. She blushes obviously. She is also shy easily. It was very funny just now. When Gu Huayan took Pei Jingshu's hand and announced reunited in a high-profile manner, all the audience watched Pei Jingshu's pretty face change from normal color to red, which is very rare. Netizens these days have no idea about blushing. Girls nowadays are bold and not shy. They always read anime and novels about blushing, and they always don't know what it looks like. At this moment, Pei Jingshu seemed to be performing it for them vividly. Someone even recorded the screen. I guess it will be trending when I post it later. Okay. Maybe she was really shy. Although she didn't pull her hand back, Pei Jingshu still raised her beautiful hand to cover half of her face under her nose. She lowered her head shyly, not daring to look at the camera. Hey. Gu Huayan didn't care and looked quite honorable. At this time, some audience members booed and said, "Holding hands is what we call getting back together? We are just like elementary school students." "That's right, it's nothing, I don't believe it." "Who are you fooling?" After seeing it, Gu Huayan couldn't help scratching his head and asked, "Then what will it take for you to believe it?" When he asked this question, Gu Huayan knew that he was in a pit. Because immediately after that group of LSPS started swiping wildly. Titi. Kiss. You still need to ask? You just have to say it. I think it's not enough proof. If you really want to treat brothers as brothers, Let's do a live show. We also need to check the paid labor and wages. Hurry. I'm going to show you what a fool I am. Gu Huiyan didn't hold back at all. He broke the defense on the spot and gave the camera a general kick. Gu Huiyan's phone almost exploded. Fortunately, this is Pei Jingshu's cell phone and not Gu Huiyan's, otherwise you would have watched over Gu Huiyan and not let it explode. Pei Jingshu was even too embarrassed to watch the barrage during the whole process, feeling that this live broadcast would leave a shadow on her. I'm furious. After venting his anger, Gu Huiyan rolled his eyes and was exhausted. Then he pointed at the mask on his face and explained. I have a cold. Why don't I wear a mask? If I wear one, won't I infect her? One thing he didn't expect was that as soon as he finished speaking, someone in the live broadcast room said, it's okay to wear a mask. How can you prove this without a kiss? It doesn't matter if you hold hands, I can just find a passerby and give her 10 yuan to hold my hand. That's right. I just have to kiss him. No doubt. You. Gu Huiyan's anger suddenly came back, and he kept chattering on. As a result, just when Gu Huiyan was about to vent his anger in front of the phone camera again. Don't, it's okay. Pei Jingshu suddenly pulled his hand. Before Gu Huiyan could react, as a gust of fragrance hit him, Pei Jingshu's delicate and beautiful face quickly zoomed in within his field of vision, and then... well... Gu Huiyan was forcibly kissed without putting on the mask. Although it is indeed a mask. But that kind of touch can indeed make people's hearts beat wildly. The live broadcast room also exploded on the spot at this moment, and the barrage went crazy. Sister Pei, you are still the love brain I know. Oh my god, it's so sweet. Sister Pei is so proactive. Sister Pei, tell me, was it you who took the initiative last night? I think it must be. Zhao, I'm a bitch too. Why on earth did I let them kiss, and torture myself? The barrage is going so fast that if you keep watching, it will really make your eyes dazzled. The Long Dad Pei Ban takes care of CP fans is reincarnated in the dirt at this moment, resurrected with full blood, and is crazy about candy. There are also a large number of people who just made a fuss and secretly cursed themselves as cheesy. What do you think is so good about spreading dog food? But one thing to say, Pei Jingshu's action just now was really killer. Because Gu Huiyan was afraid of catching a cold, Pei Jingshu and Gu Huiyan were a little far apart. So if Pei Jingshu wanted to kiss Gu Huiyan, she would have to bend over from a distance. Pei Jingshu has always had a pretty good figure. Although she cannot be called convex and convex, her curves are very beautiful. However, she usually does not like to wear revealing clothes, and she is conservative even in performances. So even many LSPs don't have a strong concept of her figure. After all, she takes the root of temperament and appearance, while Shang Xueyan's is the root of pure figure. Perhaps because of the weak concept, the moment Pei Jingshu bent over, the perfect curve was almost completely displayed in front of the live broadcast camera. Gilug. Many viewers swallowed their saliva. Not to mention, Pei Jingshu still kissed Gu Huiyan. Even though they were separated by masks, the audience felt even more flirtatious. The style of the barrage began to change, and it slowly became like this. Kill Gu, go and seize Sister Pei. AHH. Gu Huiyan comes out to challenge. Stop fighting alone, let's fight in groups. I'll go first, Adao Zhen. I am directly a Lushan Chenglongba. This barrage scene looks quite familiar. Pei Jingshu and Gu Huiyan often appeared when they first fell in love. Many fans were quite moved when they saw it. They want to say that this live broadcast is really worth watching. Great value for money. Pei Jingshu's initiative not only ignited the hearts of the audience, but also lit a fire for Gu Huiyan. Looking at Pei Jingshu, who had retracted and continued to blush after the kiss, Gu Huiyan couldn't help but raise his hand to rub his mouth under the mask, and then asked with a grin. Can you have another bite? Pei Jingshu. Aim. Her expression seemed to say, can you have another bite? Gu Huiyan scratched his head angrily and then retreated. Hey, are you satisfied? He was kissed and hugged, but if he didn't believe it, Gu Huiyan had nothing to do. The audience must have forced Lai Lai to say they didn't believe it. It was surprising that these LSPS could let Gu Huiyan go so easily. Gu Huiyan was not angry either. He faced them from a distance and slowly started chatting. Pei Jingshu talks less and basically just watches from the sidelines. Neither of them has experience in being a host, and the team is not professional. They have not prepared a game session or anything, and there is no host. Basically, they are just Gu Huiyan. Talk to the audience as much as you want, just talk nonsense. As for the netizens, they are all LSPS, and the questions they ask are not serious, and they often make Pei Jingshu blush. After chatting for a while, someone asked if they could sing a song. These words aroused the interest of a group of viewers. After all, they are both singers and capable singers. In the live broadcast room of Pei Jingshu and Gu Huiyan, if you want to ask what is the most eye-catching, it is singing. I can. Gu Huiyan originally wanted to say that he could sing, but it was only a short period of time anyway, so he just sang 2 songs as a bonus to his fans. He has never been stingy with this stuff. But at this moment, Pei Jingshu tugged on the corner of Gu Huiyan's clothes and proactively suggested. Go to the music room, I'm prepared. Ah! Gu Huiyan was stunned for a moment when he heard this, and looked at Pei Jingshu strangely. Apparently he didn't expect that Pei Jingshu had prepared this. Okay. After nodding in agreement, Gu Huiyan packed up the live broadcast equipment and took it to the music room. Oh. At this time, the live broadcast room was full of expectations, but to be honest, Gu Huiyan was a little confused, because Pei Jingshu didn't say in advance that she had prepared a song, and it was like a surprise session. It is worth mentioning that Pei Jingshu looked at him with a slightly strange look, as if she was expecting something. Arriving at the music room, Gu Huiyan set up the live broadcast equipment, and Pei Jingshu sat in front of the piano. The piano in her home is pure white. Gu Huiyan knows a little about musical instruments because he used to be a musician, but Gu Huiyan doesn't have much idea about the value of musical instruments. He just knows that this piano is specially customized and the sound is very good. It's also quite lightweight. Gu Huiyan has tried the piano before, and he can completely achieve the feeling that any piano can achieve in your mind. If Gu Huiyan wanted to make a comparison, Gu Huiyan felt that the piano he used in the concert should be of the same level as this one. That one was rented and cost tens of thousands of yuan for just a few days. It was so expensive. If it weren't for the company and sponsors taking the money, Gu Huiyan would definitely be reluctant to part with it. Pei Jingshu's house was not rented, it was bought with real money. Of course, even though the piano is luxurious and expensive, it is far less eye-catching than Pei Jingshu sitting in front of the piano. Although she was wearing loose home clothes, Pei Jingshu, who was sitting in front of the piano, looked perfect. Her waist was straight, and her bony shoulders and slender neck formed a perfect contrast. Her fair hands gently rest on the black and white piano keys. You will feel that the color of her hands matches the color of the black and white piano keys very well. It is very soft. Such hands seem to be born to play the piano. So what are you going to sing? After Gu Huiyan got the live broadcast equipment ready, he lay down next to the piano and looked at Pei Jingshu from above. Pei Jingshu is a 360-degree beauty, and any angle, even from the boyfriend's perspective, will never be associated with ugly. The white light in the room is very soft, and it shines on her short hair, giving it a delicate luster. She occasionally raised her head to look at Gu Huiyan, and that look in her eyes made her heart itch. Sing the song you wrote. Pei Jingshu pursed her lips and smiled. There seemed to be a bit of expectation in her eyes. She was really looking forward to seeing Gu Huiyan's expression when he heard the song Forgiveness. She thought that if she hadn't discovered it by chance, Gu Huiyan would never have given this song to her in her life. Just listen to this song, and you won't make a sound once you hear it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 361. Okay, then I'll be your audience. Gu Huiyan is definitely a professional when it comes to being an eye-catcher. Although there are probably more than 1 million people in the live broadcast room, he and Pei Jingshu are the only two people in the room. How can the little music queen Pei Jingshu perform live without an audience or fans cheering? Isn't this? Gu Huiyan, who was lying on Pei Jingshu's piano, immediately made an exaggerated expression and shouted. Ah! Pei Jingshu is so beautiful. I love you so much. That expression, that action, it's really as exaggerated as you want. Puff. Ah ha ha ha. The audience burst out laughing and couldn't help but complain about Gu Huiyan. Can you, kid, be more serious? But it seems that Sister Pei's fans are indeed like this. The truth is revealed, ha ha ha. Why do you feel like this old man is mocking us? Sister, calm down, it's not an illusion, he is just mocking us. Can I bear this? Gu Huiyan, beep beep beep. When the little mouth opens, there is a burst of singing of birds and the fragrance of flowers. The same words floated across the screen. You know Pei Jingshu's fans. The picture is quite funny. Pook. Even Pei Jingshu was amused. She blushed and gave Gu Huiyan a white look. She was very gentle and didn't have much resentment. After all, when Gu Huiyan said that you are so beautiful and that she loves you to death, she would also find it quite useful. Bring it on. She had never been a girl who liked to grind and chatter. When the show was over, she didn't wait for Gu Huiyan to continue, and her pair of slender jade hands resting on the black and white piano keys began to play gently. Dong dong dong. Pei Jingshu did not say the title of the song in advance, as if she wanted to maintain a sense of mystery, or as if she wanted to surprise someone. The reason why everyone didn't ask was because they felt that since Pei Jingshu said she wanted to sing songs written by Gu Huiyan, they were nothing more than Little Lucky, Meeting, Together No Matter How Far Away, and Under the Flying Clouds, You Will Marry Me Today. Many of them think Together No Matter How Far Away is more likely. After all, this song is the only song they have never sung in a concert since they got back together. Because they were all familiar works, they felt that they could all recognize the song as soon as Pei Jingshu played the accompaniment, so naturally they did not ask about the song title. Even Gu Huiyan thought it was those songs, so he didn't ask. But what is surprising is that the melody played by Pei Jingshu at this moment seems not to be any song they thought at all. That melody is very unfamiliar, it seems like a new song. The barrage was full of question marks, and many people shouted. No, is this a new song? Old Six, have you written a new song for Sister Pei? Good guy, is this a surprise? That's not it? Don't talk about them, Gu Huiyan is still confused. Even he has never heard the melody of this song. Not only is it not any song written by him, it doesn't seem to be Pei Jingshu's previous work. The key point is that Pei Jingshu is still looking at him with an expectant and playful expression, as if she is expecting his reaction. This left Monk Zhang completely confused. Without giving anyone time to respond, or waiting for Gu Huiyan to ask the system, Pei Jingshu sang softly along with the accompaniment. Forgive, the rainy day that took you away. In the dark night when I suddenly wake up, I found that I finally stopped crying. Forgive, for being taken away by you forever. The clock is almost here tomorrow. The pain will get better with time. Oh. Although I had never heard the song sung by Pei Jingshu before, this did not hinder the moment Pei Jingshu opened her mouth and when she sang these lyrics lightly and in the most rogue tone. Everyone couldn't help but get goosebumps. The melody of the song fits Pei Jingshu so well, and it feels like it was tailor-made for her. Although it is only a piano solo, Pei Jingshu's voice already has its own reverb, and the two complement each other, making people want to stop. There are no subtitles. Although Pei Jingshu's articulation is very clear, it is impossible for the audience to fully understand the lyrics for the first time, but it seems that everyone has heard the sentence "forgive." These two words seem to have a different meaning when placed in the context of Pei Ban takes care of CP at this moment. Pei Jingshu's watery eyes never left Gu Huiyan. Although Gu Huiyan was still confused because he didn't know what the song was about, Pei Jingshu always looked at it with a smile. Looking at him, the smile is always so gentle. She continued singing. Would you be reluctant to let go of those days? Missing is like a door that cannot be closed tightly, there is happiness dust in the air. Otherwise why when you close your eyes? That, it, hurts. It's probably because she's singing a more emotional passage, so Pei Jingshu's eyebrows will frown unconsciously. Many people will subconsciously frown when they sing hard, which is why Pei Jingshu can't stop it no matter what. The habit of losing. Unlike Shang Zhuoyan, Pei Jingshu's favorite songs are always relatively quiet and delicate. She will always interpret the most vivid emotions on the stage. As an interpreter, her empathy is not the same. It will be worse. She likes the song Forgiveness written by Gu Huiyan very much, because the lyrics of this song resonate with her. You hear the saying missing is like a door that cannot be closed tightly, there is happiness dust in the air. Happiness has become dust that should be swept away. Don't tell anyone. Leave me alone for a while. I have never doubted your promise. Over and over again, it's not the same, gentle, soft. Pei Jingshu plays and sings. She is really a very good singer. She has mastered every breath pause in this song just right, making it very comfortable to listen to and just enough to convey the emotions. Make the resonance the strongest. And the most touching point in the whole song comes quietly at this moment. Dong dong. Pei Jingshu's hands are still resting on the black and white piano keys. She really doesn't want to be too elegant when playing the piano, giving people a feeling of being unreachable. And her eyes looked up at Gu Huiyan at this moment. Gu Huiyan happened to be looking at her as well. At that moment, their eyes met in mid-air, and Pei Jingshu pursed her lips and smiled, showing her tenderness. She sang. After all, he is the one I love. What can I blame you for? Oh. As soon as one line of lyrics fell, the group of people in the live broadcast room became restless. No, is it common to trick dogs into killing them? Are you bringing someone who is such a loser? I even suspect that Sister Pei, you sang this song just to sing these lyrics. Pei Jingshu, I made this dumpling just because of this jealousy. In the breakup incident between Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu, perhaps it was because there were too many rumors, saying who was wrong and who was right, and too many people were involved. So no one knows what the real thing is. Everyone only knows that their relationship has cracks due to some reasons caused by Gu Huiyan. It stands to reason that everyone should stand on the moral high ground and condemn Gu Huiyan wildly, but why is this kid so talented and always writing some good works that makes everyone's three views incorrect? So in the later stages of this turmoil, everyone wanted Pei Jingshu to forgive Gu Huiyan. Only when the two of them were together could they not abuse everyone. In fact, everyone can see that even after they broke up, Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu still had each other's eyes. But now that everything is back together, Pei Jingshu's words, after all, I am the one I love. What can I blame you for, makes it even more appealing. At this moment, many people couldn't help but get goosebumps. A very funny scene was that many people from all over the country who were watching the live broadcast of these two people shouted stupidly and excitedly at home. Of course, if you want to say that the most touching person is actually Gu Huiyan. Pei Jingshu was right in front of Gu Huiyan, playing the piano and singing the lyrics. The feeling was so intuitive, as if peeling off your chest and stabbing your heart directly. Naked, straight. At this moment, Gu Huiyan was lying on the piano, while Pei Jingshu was playing the piano and singing. The two looked at each other, laughing, blushing, and even shy. That picture is really beautiful. Ah, so sweet. Many viewers said that they really hit it. It's too sweet, okay. This is how sweet Pei Ban takes care of CP should be. Forgive, the rainy day that took you away. In front of the gradually blurring window. Everyone has to say goodbye at the end. Forgive, for being taken away by you forever. It's easy to live a day with a smile. Maybe I'm a little older. In the story of Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu, it seems that there are always rainy days. It was a rainy day when they broke up, and it was a rainy day at the concert when they got back together. Gu Huiyan even had a high fever because of that rainy day and is still not cured. And the gradually blurred window is like a gradually blurred memory, which people don't want to mention, but they always think of it. When Pei Jingshu sang the song Forgive, she specifically emphasized the sentence after all, you are the one I love, what can I blame you for? This sentence is very relevant. Pei Jingshu always remembers what happened. But because I love him so much, I can't bear to blame him no matter what. So, let people grow older, let their memories blur a little, and let the past pass. Dong dong dong. When the last few melodies fell, Pei Jingshu's hand quietly moved away from the piano. There would be no tears in her eyes, only a gentle smile. She looked up at Gu Huiyan with a smile. From Gu Huiyan's point of view, she felt very beautiful. For some reason, she seemed to be able to feel some expectation and, showing off in her eyes. Like. She seemed to be waiting for Gu Huiyan to praise her. Gu Huiyan grinned helplessly and said, you stole my song. Gu Huiyan is definitely not stupid. This song must be a new song. He has never heard it. He noticed something strange just now when Pei Jingshu said that he wrote the song. If he remembered correctly, there seemed to be a notification in the system before he became confused after the concert that night, but it was so uncomfortable that night. Later, he had no memory of it, so he didn't read it. I just took a look at the system and found that this song did exist in the system. Although I didn't know how it got to Pei Jingshu, Gu Huiyan was sure that he had never given it to her. Are you reluctant to give it? Pei Jingshu smiled and tilted her head. Although she wanted to explain that she didn't look at Gu Huiyan's phone on purpose, if she hadn't seen this song by chance, Gu Huiyan would never have given it to her, right? How come? Gu Huiyan scratched his head. To be honest, this kind of song is only given by the system. If you want him to write it, he would have to be so shameless to write it. As waves of fragrant wind blew by, Pei Jingshu stood up, stretched out her jade hands and hooked Gu Huiyan's neck. It seemed very natural. She said, I quite like it, thank you for your new song. Maybe he was a little touched. Although the atmosphere was quite sensational, Gu Huiyan didn't say anything else. He raised his hand and hugged Pei Jingshu. At this time, Pei Jingshu had not realized the seriousness of the matter, and was still immersed in the sweet feeling of love. But who knew that at the next moment, Gu Huiyan said something in her ear. If I infect you, can I take care of you? Ah, what? Pei Jingshu was stunned for a moment, obviously not understanding what Gu Huiyan meant. I said, if I catch a cold and infect you, how about I take care of you? Gu Huiyan explained it carefully again. Of course, it's okay. Pei Jingshu nodded, a little strange. If she was infected, then it would be natural for Gu Huiyan to take care of her. Why should she ask for advice? Originally, Pei Jingshu was still puzzled. As a result, the next moment, Gu Huiyan, the old man, suddenly took off his mask, stood up from the hug, and before she could react, he came over and kissed her red lips. Well. Pei Jingshu's watery eyes suddenly widened and she looked at Gu Huiyan in disbelief. She obviously didn't expect that this guy would suddenly kiss her. It was at this moment that she finally understood why Gu Huiyan asked her what he meant by taking care of her if she was infected. It turns out that it was for a kiss. He was afraid that Kiss would catch a cold, so he didn't dare to kiss her, but he couldn't help it, so he said that if he got infected, I would take care of you, and I would be responsible. If you get infected, just pass it on. You have to stick to it anyway. Ah. Realizing this, Pei Jingshu's pretty face began to turn crimson at a speed visible to the naked eye. This guy. It's too presumptuous. And at this moment, Pei Jingshu suddenly caught a glimpse of the live broadcast on the mobile phone from the corner of her eye. At that time, she almost fainted from shame. And at this moment, in the live broadcast room next door, it exploded on the spot. No, do you two think there is no one here? Do you really think you two are the only ones here? Good guy, are you really going to just leave the dog hanging for a while? You don't treat people as people anymore, do you? Report it, I'm going to report you, number 6, for your sexual behavior. Haha, but I think they are so sweet. Gu Huiyan, you should have been like this a long time ago, okay? Ah. Tai. They tai. I don't know if it was too emotional or too selfless. Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu were kissing right there, completely forgetting that there were millions of viewers watching the live broadcast online at the same time. In the live broadcast room, the comment section is also polarized. On one side are those who are addicted to sugar, and on the other are those who are being abused. The abused people are very unhappy and are reporting like crazy. If they didn't know that this is a composite live broadcast between two celebrity artists, the two of them didn't do anything out of the ordinary, so it's probably been banned by the authorities a long time ago. Of course, there are also people who argue that you are not out of line with this mouth-to-mouth shouting. Then the official said, what's the point of a young couple kissing? There are casual kisses everywhere on the street. Are you so bitter? Then the arrogant person cried and said that he was kissing my sister Pei. Every time Gu Huiyan kisses Pei Jingshu, a group of fans will explode. This thing still happens to this day, which is quite funny. Yes, someone is watching. She probably caught a glimpse of the camera, so Pei Jingshu shyly pushed Gu Huiyan a few times. She didn't use any force, her hands were soft, and it was more like a few gentle touches than a push. After the two people separated their mouths, Pei Jingshu blushed and lowered her head resting on Gu Huiyan's chest. She didn't even dare to raise her head, let alone looking at the camera. At this time, Pei Jingshu looks like two different people from the little music queen who conquered everyone with her own reverb when she sang Forgiveness just now. Go and take a look, are you still afraid of looking? Gu Huiyan licked his lips, smiled and said. Wouldn't they like to see this? In the compound live broadcast, what do you think of a couple kissing in an unruly way? You boy. A group of scolds in the live broadcast room were all talking about this old bastard. Gu Huiyan didn't mind either. Pei Jingshu had already kissed her, so did he care whether they scolded her or not? Let me sing you a song too. When Pei Jingshu finally calmed down a little and her face was not so red, Gu Huiyan took the initiative. Okay. Pei Jingshu pursed her lips and smiled, nodded slightly, then stood up, gave up her seat in front of the piano to Gu Huiyan, and obediently came to where Gu Huiyan was just now. But she didn't lie down on the piano like Gu Huiyan. After all, that action was a bit lazy. She was always quite upright. Dong dong. However, Gu Huiyan played twice, then scratched his head and stood up, saying, I'd better play the guitar. I feel like the guitar is more suitable than the piano for this song. As he said that, he ran to the side and got a guitar. Pei Jingshu's guitar didn't seem to be a particularly expensive type, and it couldn't be compared with the piano. Maybe it was because she didn't play the guitar often. Looking back, Hwaiyan took care of the audience's experience and took Pei Jingshu to sit at the table used for the live broadcast. Holding the guitar, he said, "This song is called Leo. Pei Jingshu, born in July, happens to be a Leo. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth." Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 362. Chapter 356 News about the tour and, how about we wash it together? Oh! The audience couldn't help but cheer. Needless to say, the quality of Gu Huiyan's works was obvious to everyone. Gu Huiyan didn't talk nonsense, just in front of the camera, holding the guitar and playing gently. Dong dong. The melodies, which are more folk-like, were played by Gu Huiyan in an understated way. To say how recognizable it would definitely be an exaggeration to compare it to Sunny Day and Suddenly Miss You So Much. They were just relatively standard chords. When the system redeemed the song Leo, the original version of Gu Huiyan was a bit difficult to sing. The melody was also a bit magical and not very suitable for boys to sing. So Gu Huiyan adapted it a little. The guitar has universal chords, and the universal chords used during practice can be used as a good accompaniment. Although Gu Huiyan's current status is due to the works given by the system, he has been doing this for many years, and with the blessing of the system music theory, simple adaptation is not a problem. The Tale of July, You Are a Leo. Prelude to August, You Are a Leo. When we meet, if it's an accident. When we parted, we unexpectedly separated, and couldn't separate. At home, Gu Huiyan was wearing the familiar black turtleneck sweater. This piece of clothing he wore during New Year's Eve this year was also a piece of clothing that often appeared on him in winter. After all, black is not afraid of getting dirty. Moreover, black is slimmer, good-looking, and makes you look more elegant. Gu Huiyan had already taken off his mask at this time. Although the tip of his nose was red due to blowing his nose due to a cold, and his voice was very nasal, it was precisely because of this that it added some feeling to the song. There is a common sense among the audience that people with good timbre will sound better when they have a cold. Gu Huiyan is a tune rogue, and if his nasal sound becomes heavier again, well, the feeling will come back to him immediately. Just listen to this song. No one said a word when I heard it. It is worth mentioning that when singing this point, Gu Huiyan paused slightly, and then glanced at Pei Jingshu next to him. To be precise, he looked at her shoulder-length short hair. Singing that very on-topic lyric. If you don't change your stubbornness, you shouldn't love with all your strength. Women with short hair can also be sexy and cute. Oh. At that time, as soon as this lyrics came out, the live broadcast room was boiling. Barrage blast. Good guys, did you two do this on purpose or accidentally? So you two sang these two songs just to sing these two lines to each other. Wak, I never thought that a dog could be tortured like this. Gu Huiyan, who hasn't made this dumpling just because of this jealousy. The audience really couldn't stand it any longer. That is to say, the way these two are spreading dog food is really becoming more and more advanced. There is a touching line in the song Forgiveness that Pei Jingshu just sang. After all, you are the one I love, what can I blame you for? Now in the song Leo sung by Gu Huiyan, there is another sentence. Women with short hair can also be sexy and cute. The title of the song Leo is eye-catching because it is Pei Jingshu's zodiac sign, but Gu Huiyan also included this line in the lyrics. This really made the audience dumbfounded. In the past, Pei took care of CP just showed off his bad memory by kissing, hugging, and holding him high, showing off his memory gap when meeting in a long-distance relationship. Now it's great, they can share the same lyrics in a new song. Talent. Advanced. The more you play, the higher you go. However, One thing that the audience has to admit is that Gu Huiyan can indeed sing. Pei Jingshu's short hair was the trigger for their breakup storm, and it was also the most distressing thing on the entire network during their breakup. A little bit. I remember that at that time, before her short hair walking into the airport was exposed by Reuters, because Gu Huiyan was badly criticized, some fans of Gu Huiyan defended him, saying that what Pei Jingshu did was not honorable and there was something wrong. But as soon as Pei Jingshu's short hair was revealed, even the beauties of Gu Huiyan's family betrayed on the spot and acted like a rebel, expressing their feelings for Sister Pei. This short hair is really a killer. Even now, the only fan of Pei Jingshu's family still wants to stab Gu Huiyan twice whenever she mentions Pei Jingshu's cut hair. There was even someone who really knew Gu Huiyan offline because of this. Gu Huiyan's assistant really received a wig from someone else. The funniest thing was that when Gu Huiyan went out to eat a bowl of beef noodles and was photographed, he was scolded by people, saying that Sister Pei is like that, but you still have the heart to eat beef noodles. In short, Pei Jingshu's short hair really caused a lot of trouble. And the matter of short hair has become something that Gu Huiyan and his fans rarely mention. It seems to be a bit taboo. It's not that I don't dare to mention it, it's mainly because I'm afraid that if I mention it, I'll have to worry about it again. Gu Huiyan's daring to sing about Pei Jingshu's short hair is enough to make people laugh. He is already taking a huge risk, and he wishes he could risk the disapproval of the world. If he sings poorly, it will easily trigger a crusade against him. Fortunately, Gu Huiyan finished singing. Just look at the atmosphere in the live broadcast room, and you can know that he sang the lyrics correctly. Don't look at those people who are always cursing and swearing. They are at the forefront. Certainly. If you want to say that the one who moved the most was probably Pei Jingshu. Pei Jingshu, who was sitting opposite Gu Huiyan, was a little surprised, but she always felt inexplicably aggrieved when she raised her hair. She raised her hand to cover the lower half of her face, but there were some tears brewing in her eyes. People, when their emotions are extreme, are always prone to do some irrational things. In Pei Jingshu's world, her hair is as important as her face. She has never changed her hairstyle in her entire life. Even when she goes abroad to participate in events, she has never dyed it, permed it, or even done regular maintenance. As for why she cut off her hair at that time, Pei Jingshu actually didn't know. She only remembered that she cried all the way on the plane and couldn't cry anymore. After returning to the apartment, she felt very tired and her head was empty. Nothing, just kept in a daze in front of the mirror. Maybe when I saw the scissors, I had the idea of cutting my hair, so I gathered my hair and cut it off with a click. It was like cutting off the past with Gu Huiyan. Her temper was always so fierce. Do you say you regret it? Of course I regret it. Growing up with long hair, certain actions are engraved in her DNA. Even now, Pei Jingshu will always touch her shoulders subconsciously, because when her hair is long, her hair will always hang down on her shoulders. I would often shake my hair sideways, and when I felt a light touch on my head, I would subconsciously freeze for a moment. She just can't get used to it. That's why when Gu Huiyan touched his hair in the hospital that day, he felt so wrong that he burst into tears, turned around and ran out. Even now, she would still feel aggrieved and cry when Gu Huiyan sang about her hair, but when she listened to Gu Huiyan's lyrics, she felt somewhat let it go. Because what he sings is women with short hair can also be sexy and cute. Because he is comforting her. There are so many people, don't miss that, one waiting. Try to love, it will feel better to be hurt than to be loved. Gu Huiyan looked at Pei Jingshu, playing and singing lyrics for her. The color of the screen was a bit cold, but for some reason, all the viewers watching their live broadcast felt quite warm in their hearts. Just this once, I don't want to be a eulogist. If you can also write a song for me. Please don't ask what month it is for Capricorn. Please don't say it's just friendship. Long live talent. Ding dong dong. A few gentle melodies were played lightly by Gu Huiyan to the end. So far, Gu Huiyan's singing has been very calm. Singing is like learning to ride a bicycle. It's easy to ride fast but difficult to ride slow. The high notes are easy, but the low notes are not that easy. But Gu Huiyan was able to catch everyone's attention with his bass when singing Leo, which is already a manifestation of his strength. Not to mention, next, he directly upgraded his key and started to boom. Dong dong dong. After a few cool strums, he sang loudly. When you are alone. It's not that I don't miss you. When you are alone. I'm just afraid of missing you. When you're alone, if it starts to rain. I will also imitate you and throw the umbrella aside. Oh. This slightly unexpected burst of functionality was completely unexpected by the audience, but thinking back, the first half was so well prepared, wasn't it just for the second half's chorus burst? Those lyrics were sung by Gu Huiyan, and it was really touching. In the two songs tonight, it felt like they were really singing each other's words, and at the same time they were singing themselves. You will never change your nature. You shouldn't love hard. Girls with short hair can be sexy and cute. Don't miss the huge crowds. Please don't say that only friendship can keep us alive forever. Gu Huiyan, who sang hard, surprised more than 1 million people in the live broadcast room. He could always get the tempo of his singing just right, not too hard, but still making people feel the most direct power. The 4 words goosebumps are really getting tired of being said in the comment section of Gu Huiyan's singing, right? Ah! Many netizens shouted, they really convinced Gu Huiyan. The scrolling speed of the public screen is very fast, and it dazzles those who are fast. It is estimated that hundreds of comments can pour in at the same time every second. The staff backstage took a look at the number of viewers and saw that it was about to exceed 2 million. 2 million, to put it lightly, is common for celebrities and artists who often have millions of fans. But you have to know that these 2 million people are real people, active fans in the real sense, not those machine fans. For many artists with 5 to 6 million fans, it would be pretty good if they had more than 100,000 active fans. In the internet era, data really shouldn't be taken too seriously. It is also because there are more and more people, the live broadcast room is becoming more and more crowded, and the public screen scrolls too fast, causing the server here. I can't hold it any longer. Why can't labor and management comment? Soon some viewers found themselves stuck and unable to post comments. This phenomenon happened to many people at the same time. Some netizens had to leave because of something. When they came back, they found that they couldn't enter the live broadcast room. What's going on? Pei, who was staring at the scene, was still surprised when she noticed the scene, and asked the assistant. The assistant contacted the platform and got an answer. There are too many people, the number of comments is too high, and the server is burning. Ah! Pei was stunned for a moment, and then couldn't help but laugh. She was indeed the most popular CP on the entire network. It was too common for the official announcement of Pei Ban to take care of CP to burn down 1 or 2 servers. She thought, tomorrow, there will probably be a lot of hot searches for them again. In fact, there is no need for tomorrow, there are already many related hot searches appearing on the lists of various platforms. These two people, their relationship attracted the attention of the entire internet, their breakup caused a storm, and their reunion attracted so much attention. It really makes people dumbfounded and envious at the same time. After singing Leo, some netizens said they didn't hear enough, so Gu Huiyan casually sang another song No Matter How Far Away We Are Together. This song can be regarded as a hit. The regret of not hearing it at the concert was also due to Gu Huiyan and a song from Pei Jingshi's long-distance relationship. It is worth mentioning that when Gu Huiyan sang this song, some people thought it sounded like they were breaking up. At that time, there was a comment from a netizen that was quite funny. Sister Pei, just because I'm not with you means I'm dead. But now, after so many things, listening to this song again, many viewers will feel the resonance is even stronger. Not only this song, but also songs like Want to See You and Light Chaser are like this. It can only be said that good works can withstand the precipitation of time. Fortunately, after going around in circles, Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu were still by each other's side. After singing a few songs, maybe just for fun, Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu jointly performed a four-handed play. The song I played was a relatively familiar piece, well, it was Sunny Day. Among Gu Huiyan's works, the most outstanding masterpiece is also the only one with the prelude that the whole audience stood up and cheered. The accompaniment melody of the song is very simple, but very moving. In front of the white piano, Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu's hands are resting on the black and white keys on both sides. The notes are playing on their fingertips and surrounding the ears of every audience. By the side. At that moment, in everyone's eyes, they were truly a match made in heaven. It is worth mentioning that although they were only playing the accompaniment of Sunny Day, when they played, the audience couldn't help but sing along. There is no way, this song is too popular and too catchy. And just after finishing playing Sunny Day, it was getting late and there was really no program left. Gu Huiyan said. Then, we'll get off. Go to bed early. He has work tomorrow morning. I don't know when this cold will heal. It's quite cold in winter. The audience was still reluctant to leave and expressed. Are you leaving now? Ah. I haven't heard enough, I want to hear more. When will it start broadcasting again? Gu Huiyan laughed and answered some questions, such as when he would start broadcasting again. He said it might take the next life. When he replied that he hadn't heard enough and wanted to hear more, he said that he should go to a concert and let you hear enough. The audience didn't refute him, let alone say that prostitution is very good. Instead, they asked him when he would hold another concert. After all, everyone knows how valuable Gu Huiyan's first solo concert in Suzhou is during this period. It should be soon. There is nothing to keep secret about this, so Gu Huiyan said. We should be preparing for a tour after the year. We will go to many cities by then and there will be a lot of tickets. On the way here, Zhang Nuan told Gu Huiyan about Zhang Ma's plans for his follow-up. Because this person's first concert was so successful, the call for Gu Huiyan's follow-up concerts is getting stronger and stronger, so Gu Huiyan's focus next year will be on during the tour, other announcements can be reduced accordingly. Gu Huiyan is actually happy about this, because if he is preparing for a tour, he can go to various cities, and he will have more free time during the corresponding preparation time. Do you think you will make less money? Do not make jokes. Concerts have always been the best way for singers to make money, bar none. With Gu Huiyan's current concert attendance rate, even if he sings in the Bird's Nest with 100,000 people, the venue will definitely be full. After the year, Gu Huiyan's contract expires, and the money earned after terminating the contract with the company will be reduced to the company's share. After touring throughout the year, you can imagine the profits. The news of Gu Huiyan's tour also ignited the enthusiasm of the audience in the live broadcast room. Walk. Zun do fake do. Keep your word. Ahem, I just came from the popular side. Who is the singer? Do you dare to come to Shandong to play a few shows to show your ability? Your calculations were made, and even labor and management heard it in outer space. Outer space? What the hell are you, Carl? You only deserve to smell the farts of my god, Carl. Don't worry, it will happen, no problem. Gu Huiyan chuckled and said a few words to the audience before bidding farewell to the next broadcast. Call. It wasn't until Gu Huiyan turned off the live broadcast and the live broadcast screen was no longer displayed on the phone lens that Pei Jingshu breathed a sigh of relief. The whole person relaxed. Gu Huiyan was happy when he saw it and couldn't help laughing. If no one is around, You should try not to broadcast live in the future. It's hard to imagine what Pei Jingshu could do to these LSPS without him by her side. Okay, hurry up and take a bath and rest. What time is it? Pei Jingshu blushed and turned her head away. She didn't want to talk about this topic. As soon as she talked about it, she thought of eating noodles. This joke. It's hard to make it through. She originally wanted to get up, but Gu Huiyan grabbed her wrist. When she turned her head and looked over, she saw Gu Huiyan laughing and saying, "How about we wash it together?" In one sentence, Pei Jingshu's delicate pretty face turned red. The red one will turn purple. This guy, what is he talking about? Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Xuan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 363. Can you think of something serious in your head? It was Pei Jingshu who couldn't help but poked Gu Huiyan's forehead with a green finger, then quickly shook off Gu Huiyan's hand and walked away with a blushing face. Isn't this serious enough? Gu Huiyan casually put on his cell phone and chased after him. It seems that this is what he should be seriously thinking about. If you don't think so, would you still be called a man? Didn't I tell you to keep my distance? At the restaurant bar, in order to cover up her nervousness, Pei Jingshu pretended to pour water. She brought the transparent glass close to her red lips. She raised her slender white neck and let the water flow into her mouth without looking at Gu Huiyan. One glance. All right. Gu Huiyan put on the mask helplessly and asked Pei Jingshu. Then which room should I sleep in? He thought to himself that this damn cold was really delaying things. I'll take you. Pei Jingshu walked in front dragging her small white slippers and holding a water glass. Her figure was always so slender, even wearing loose home casual clothes could not hide it. Gu Huiyan was quite well behaved at the moment. Maybe it was because it was very late and he was sleepy. He knew he had work tomorrow morning, so after being taken to the room, in addition to hugging Pei Jingshu and kissing him good night, there was nothing more to do. This made Pei Jingshu a little happy, and she would also ask Gu Huiyan. Why are you so honest all of a sudden? Gu Huiyan scratched his head and said. The days are long. They still have a long time, there is no need to worry about this 1 or 2 nights, anyway, Pei Jingshu is by his side and won't run away. Pei Jingshu was really surprised that her boyfriend suddenly became sensible, so she thoughtfully ran to make cold medicine for Gu Huiyan. Gu Huiyan said, you can't just care about me. Aren't you having trouble with your legs and feet today? Tell me where it hurts and I'll massage it for you and it'll be fine. Pei Jingshu. Just now I thought this guy was sensible, but then he turned around and stopped talking. Haha. Just kidding. Gu Huiyan laughed, and sometimes he felt that Pei Jingshu was too polite. Gu Huiyan had known her for such a long time, and it was hard to hear even a curse word from Pei Jingshu's mouth, not to mention swearing. Gu Huiyan always had sex with her, and the most she would say was that Gu Huiyan was a rogue. But the more she acted like this, the more Gu Huiyan wanted to tease her. Not only him, but also netizens. Isn't this? Just go check out the hot searches tonight. Hashtag Peiban takes care of CP's official announcement of the reunion live broadcast. Hashtag. Hashtag what's the meaning of eating noodles? Hashtag. Hashtag forgiveness by Pei Jingshu and Leo by Gu Huiyan. Hashtag. Hashtag after all, you are the one I love, what can I blame you for? Hashtag. Hashtag women with short hair can also be sexy and cute. Hashtag. Hashtag the heat is too high and the server is burned. Hashtag. Unsurprisingly, tonight's live broadcast by the two successfully became a hot search on various platforms. Among them, the most popular one, apart from their respective performances of Forgive and Leo, was the eating noodles meme. Starting from this morning, there have been comments related to eating noodles in the comment areas of many marginal videos, saying Have you eaten noodles today? Sister Pei has some noodles, have you eaten? Come on, bro, there are noodles here to eat. Many people are really confused when they see similar comments, so they search for it. It doesn't matter once they search, they are really surprised after searching. That turned out to be one of Pei Jingshu's most popular memes. It was Pei Jingshu's casual remark during the live broadcast, but the meaning was distorted by netizens. What's funny is that for such a bad meme, there are still countless people who are crazy about the rhythm, and some Q/U0026 video bloggers have specially made videos to explain this meme. Netizens are laughing like crazy, and they are posting various comments. I guess Sister Pei is going to die when she sees this trending post. Ha ha ha, I just came from Sister Pei's Weibo, and I was asking her in the comment section early in the morning if she had eaten noodles in the morning. It's over, I can't get over this joke. Gu Huiyan has beef noodle sticks, and Sister Pei has noodle sticks. These two can't get along with noodles, ha ha ha. Not only the fans of the two companies, but also the passers-by laughed out loud. When Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu broke up, Pei Jingshu's short hair caused the whole network to feel distressed. Gu Huiyan was scolded for several months because he was photographed eating a bowl of beef noodles on the roadside. The beef noodles concept has also become a problem that Gu Huiyan can't get over. Now, Pei Jingshu has another shameful noodle eating joke. These two people can't get along with face. Even when Pei Jingshu saw this hot search in the morning, she was so ashamed that she didn't want to go out to meet people, because she felt that if she went out today, fans would definitely ask her if she had eaten noodles today. By the way, she doesn't know why this myth became so popular. When Pei Ya and her assistant came to take her to the beauty salon in the morning, they talked about this matter. Pei Jingshu was too ashamed to raise her head and didn't want to mention it at all. She even wanted to disappear from this world for a while. I'll come back when no one discusses the topic of eating noodles in this past period. Very social, okay. In comparison, Pei Ya was not very angry about this. Maybe she would be disgusted by such a colorful meme, but this meme brought much more popularity and benefits. Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu's live broadcast last night, the popularity is really getting high, and several jobs came to them this morning. Speaking of which, they are enviable enough. Many celebrities in the entertainment industry always try their best to maintain their popularity. From time to time, they will try to attract traffic, write a swearing song, and even try to attract attention by sensationalizing. There are all kinds of embarrassing things, all kinds of bells and whistles are exaggerated. But the way Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu maintain their popularity is just to spread dog food anytime and anywhere. Can it not be enviable? Can you please stop mentioning this matter? Pei Jingshu, who had just finished washing her hair and was blow-drying her hair, didn't dare to raise her head when she told her sister this. Okay, okay. Pei Ya laughed and helped dry her hair, and asked. When did that kid leave? The kid she was talking about must be Gu Huiyan. Gu Huiyan had offline promotional activities today and was going to record a song after finishing the activities. Didn't I sing Leo again yesterday? Let's sing it out together. It was very early. When I got up, he was already gone. Pei Jingshu pursed her lower lip slightly, feeling a little displeased, thinking that she should tell herself at least. Pei Ya nodded with satisfaction and asked again. Is his voice good? Didn't you just get a bad cold and you're still not feeling well? Can I record songs with this voice? I don't know. He said he was fine. Pei Jingshu was also a little worried. How about you? The hairdryer was blowing loudly. Pei Jingshu hadn't heard her sister's words clearly yet, so she was a little stunned. Ah! I said, how are you? Pei Ya asked angrily. Aren't you both feeling well? How are you doing today? She didn't really want to ask this question, she always felt a little embarrassed, but as a sister and an agent, She must know about her sister's physical condition. I, of course it's okay. Pei Jingsha finally raised her head, then lowered her head with a blushing face. Damn it, now I am completely shameless. It's all Gu Huiyan's fault. The recent shameful things about her have nothing to do with Gu Huiyan. Ah, sneeze. At this time, Gu Huiyan had just arrived at the event and sneezed as soon as he got off the car. Are you okay? Zhang Nuan handed him a water glass and said with concern. You look so weak, you can't really be raped by Sister Pei. When I was watching the live broadcast last night, I saw a lot of people saying that Pei Jingsha squeezed Gu Huiyan dry. Could it be true? If you don't want to do it anymore, you can just say so. Gu Huiyan's mouth twitched and he glared at Zhang Nuan. He didn't know what was going on. Why did he suddenly sneeze just now? Could it be that Pei Jingsha missed him? Gu Huiyan didn't think too much. He opened the water glass, poured a cup of hot water and took a sip. He sorted himself out a little before entering the event. When he entered, there were already many people at the scene. Because he knew in advance that Gu Huiyan had offline promotional activities, some fans came to visit in advance. There were people of all ages in the shopping mall, with 3 floors inside and 3 floors outside. If it weren't for taking the elevator from the basement, Gu Huiyan would have had a hard time squeezing in. Brother, don't we really need to change our clothes? Before going in, Zhang Nuan specifically asked Gu Huiyan that this guy came here just like he was here for a walk. Although he was dressed very delicately and well groomed inside, he was still wearing a down jacket outside. You see celebrities and entertainers going out for activities, who doesn't wear a suit and evening gown? Why are you wearing a down jacket? It's okay. Gu Huiyan waved his hands boredly, still holding the thermos cup. People say that winter is difficult for celebrities, but this is not reflected in Gu Huiyan. This old man wears a down jacket every day and has never been cold. I'm coming. Ah. It's Gu Huiyan. When Gu Huiyan entered, the event place was already abuzz. By the way, this seems to be the first time Gu Huiyan has participated in an event after his concert, so there are especially many people at the scene. When Gu Huiyan came, he saw that the square outside was full of people. It was obviously not a holiday, but there were so many people, which was enough to show his popularity now. Oops. Gu Huiyan felt a little emotional for a moment. What kind of life had he been living in the past 6 months before the concert? He was scolded every day, and he didn't dare to look at anyone when he went out, for fear of being recognized and cheated offline. Finally, now we have turned around, turned against the wind, our reputation has picked up, our traffic has revived, and everything is thriving. Hello, hello, hello. Gu Huiyan smiled and greeted everyone. Some fans on the edge of the guardrail went crazy, handing out autograph books and asking for photos. Of course, the craziest ones are the entertainment teachers from various schools. Basically, they all come with cameras in their hands and shout. Teacher Xiaogu. Hey, please look over here, thank you. Teacher Gu Huiyan, please look at the camera. They were all waiting for Gu Huiyan to look at the camera and take pictures. Gu Huiyan's head was like a rattle. He was called here and there again and never stopped. Fortunately, the questions asked by these entertainment teachers were not exaggerated, they were just some follow-up arrangements and not very private. Comparatively speaking, the audience at the scene was more crazy. They said all kinds of things, some of which were too unspeakable. What impressed Gu Huiyan more deeply was a pretty girl wearing glasses who shouted, "Did you have noodles with Sister Pei this morning?" As soon as the words fell. Puff. Ha ha ha. The whole audience burst into laughter. Gu Huiyan rolled his eyes repeatedly and shouted, "Security, take her out." Gu Huiyan once thought that most of the people who joked about the eating noodles joke were brothers. The brothers were too shy to talk about it online and offline, but it turned out that it seemed that more of the people who joked about this joke were girls. It's too terrible. Fortunately, the host of the event had a higher emotional intelligence and took the initiative to help Gu Huiyan respond to various topics. It is worth mentioning that the host made fun of Gu Huiyan's outfit today, saying, "You are as down-to-earth as ever, as rumored." As soon as these words came out, "Ha ha." Again there was a burst of laughter. Today, Gu Huiyan was not only wearing a suit lining, but also a down jacket on the outside. Later, some netizens commented, "Wearing a suit is a sign of respect for the event and the audience, and wearing a down jacket is his true manly character." At that time, a systematic voice also sounded in Gu Huiyan's mind. "Ding, the host has successfully grounded himself and gained exposure, system points add 91x10. Gu Huiyan doesn't use the system very much anymore. He only changes songs at most. He has almost 200,000 system points. You may say it is useful, but it does not have many functions. You may say it is useless. Without those works, Gu Huiyan would not be where he is today. Anyway, just be grateful." It was not only his down jacket that increased system points for Gu Huiyan, but also his thermos cup. It was well known that Gu Huiyan had been feeling unwell recently due to a cold and fever. Even at the event, he would drool every now and then to moisten his throat. In the past, when he did this, some people said he would disrespect the audience, the host, etc., but now there are very few people who say these things. Maybe it's because Gu Huiyan is becoming more and more popular. What did the king do that day? All are correct. Quite ironic. Celebrities compete for beauty, and even in winter they wear very thin clothes to look thinner. Female celebrities even expose their thighs. These are very common things. In the past, the audience was happy to watch, but then everyone became more and more real. They thought there was something wrong with celebrities exposing their thighs in winter. Not only did they not look good, they also felt cold and panicked for them. On the contrary, people like Gu Huiyan, who wears down jackets generously, can arouse everyone's favor. Whatever the season, just wear whatever clothes you want. Don't give up the warmth you should have for the sake of that trivial grace. When you get old, your legs will be cold and it will be difficult to walk. After participating in the event, Gu Huiyan's supporting facilities of down jacket and thermos cup became a hot search topic. Someone said, "Although this kid seems to have a serious cold, he feels that he is in pretty good condition. The beauty is in my arms and I am proud of the spring breeze. My horse's hoof is broken. Is the condition any worse? Haha, yes. Sister Pei, do you know how much effort I put in to keep him in good condition last night? Do you know? How can this broken road be driven?" 6. It was almost noon when the event ended, and it was already time for lunch. Gu Huiyan would definitely not go directly to lunch, but would take a car to the place where Pei Jingshu had her beauty treatment. The beauty salon is a place where female stars almost go out in groups and in groups. There is no female star who doesn't care about her face. Pei Jingshu is indeed naturally beautiful, but if you say that her good condition has nothing to do with the care she has taken since childhood, then it is pure fart. Why are rich girls always so cute? It's because people have the conditions to take good care of their appearance since they were young. The number of times Pei Jingshu goes to beauty salons every month is not fixed. After all, she is busy with work and the location of the beauty salon she goes to is very fixed. However, her monthly expenses at the beauty salon are very fixed, at least 6 figures. Above. For ordinary people, earning 6 figures a month is an exaggeration, but for Pei Jingshu, it may be just a small part of her pocket money. This can't be said to be a luxury. After all, female celebrities rely on their faces to make a living, so why should they spend money on their faces if they don't spend it on their faces? The beauty salon that Pei Jingshu went to was very famous and popular with many artists and internet celebrities. Just think of the cars in the parking lot. Porsches and Rolls-Royces were everywhere. Of course, Gu Huiyan didn't care much about these. Speaking of which, this was really the first time for Gu Huiyan to come to a beauty salon. He didn't know where to find Pei Jingshu, but the assistant took him in. But the funny thing is that Gu Huiyan met a lot of acquaintances here, not only female celebrities, but also male celebrities. These days, many male stars put their faces more important than female stars. Some male stars are even fairer than female stars, and one is more virtuous than the other. What Gu Huiyan didn't expect was that he bumped into an acquaintance here whom he hadn't seen for a long time. Zhang Shuajiang PD. The bond between Gu Huiyan and PD Zhang is really deep. Not to mention the crystal love season period, Gu Huiyan met him the night he had a car accident, and he later visited Gu Huiyan. Later, Gu Huiyan actually had a bit of kindness to block the gun towards him. During that time, he seemed to have some scandals with female fans, which caused uproar in the city, and it was like a house collapsed. He kept a low profile for a long time, but no one let him go, and he was still dragging him. Let all kinds of discussions go. It was at that time that Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu caused a breakup incident, which suddenly attracted everyone's attention. No one cared about Zhang Shuo's affairs, allowing him to keep a low profile as he wished. You said, can this not be called the grace of blocking the gun? Today, Zhang Shuo has escaped the limelight and has come out to make money at the end of the year. Various performances and concerts have been arranged. It is quite smooth and he is back on track. Regardless of Huiyan, Zhang Shuo's matter really won't be so easy. I have no memory of the internet. Fans who know this all want to say that when Zhang Shuo sees Gu Huiyan, he should really give him a kiss. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Buletin Shi Swan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 364. It is true that Zhang Shuo was very polite when he saw Gu Huiyan. He had long lost the face he had when he first met Gu Huiyan and laughed at him for looking like a landlord. Nowadays, Gu Huiyan crushes him in almost all aspects, including traffic, popularity, status, works, reputation, etc. It is normal to be polite. But if you ask Gu Huiyan still likes his unruly look. Are you here to make a face too? Zhang Shuo was quite polite and said. This time it's on my card. I have their membership card. Kowtow is too exaggerated, but it's not a problem to ask Gu Huiyan to make a face or something. Zhang Shuo must at least repay this favor of blocking the gun. No, I'm fine. Gu Huiyan waved his hands and said casually. I'm here to pick someone up. Why do I, a grown-up man, have such a face? When he said this, he didn't notice anything was wrong at all. At that time, Gu Huiyan was wearing casual clothes, while Zhang Shuo had changed into short-sleeved shirts for the spa and had just come out from next door after getting his face done. When PD Zhang heard this, he looked a little confused and the corner of his mouth twitched for a while. Of course, he didn't show it, let alone get angry with Gu Huiyan. He also knew very well that Gu Huiyan did it unintentionally and had no intention of attacking him. The two chatted for a while, and when Pei Jingshu came out, she saw the two of them chatting. After finishing her facial, Pei Jingshu came out of the beauty salon wearing her own clothes, white loose pants, a white turtleneck lining, and even her shoes were all white, but she was wearing a long windbreaker that made her look taller. It is light green. This color is not very suitable for Pei Jingshu. It is very gentle. Of course, what's more gentle is the pretty face that everyone has to praise. Pei Jingshu, who has just had her makeup done, is barefaced. She hasn't gone out yet, so she hasn't had time to wear a mask. Her fair and tender skin looks like it can be broken by a blowjob. Just like this, he was displayed naked in front of Gu Huiyan. When she sees someone she knows, Pei Jingshu will nod in a friendly manner and purse her lips slightly as a smile. Zhang Shuo also smiles and says hello to Pei Jingshu. After saying hello, Pei Jingshu naturally hooks Gu Huiyan's arm. Also asked, "What are you talking about?" "No, we just met by chance and had a casual chat." Gu Huiyan grinned and it was time to say goodbye to Zhang Shuo. "We're going to have lunch, see you later." "Okay, see you later." Zhang Shuo watched Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu leave with inexplicable envy in his eyes. Pei Jingshu. Such a beautiful girl, one of the top beauties in the entertainment industry where beauties gather together. How can any man not be envious and jealous when he sees her holding hands with other men? At noon, Gu Huiyan had lunch with Pei Jingshu. In the afternoon, the two went to the recording studio. Gu Huiyan recorded Leo and Pei Jingshu recorded Forgiveness. It is worth mentioning that because both of them are capable singers, the recording process was smooth, with almost no problems, and it was easy after a few recordings. The sound engineer couldn't help but praise them repeatedly and said, "The voice quality of your two children will definitely be good in the future. My parents are both bad at sound, and they both have good voices, so there is no reason why they should be good or bad." Of course, Pei Jingshu blushed at this sentence, lowered her head and waved her hands and said, How can I think of it so far?" Gu Huiyan shrugged his shoulders naturally and said, "That must." Of course, Pei Jingshu would definitely say that he was shameless. Having said that, although Gu Huiyan's nasal voice is quite heavy due to a cold, this relatively special version of Leo is really liked by the audience. The voice is slightly hoarse, so it will be more emotional, so I won't care about it. Speaking of colds, Gu Huiyan has been focusing on taking care of his health recently. He has hardly eaten anything cold in the past 2 days. In the past, he drank various drinks during the winter and did not drink much hot water. In the past 2 days, he has not only drank hot water, Zhang Nuan was also specially asked to buy a thermos cup. "How did you change your gender?" Zhang Nuan is still wondering, why is Gu Huiyan so cool this winter? Gu Huiyan said calmly that he just wanted to get rid of the cold as soon as possible. Of course, he would definitely not say anything more profound, such as the fact that he could sleep with Pei Jingshu after the cold was cured. But this was no silly secret. Zhang Nuan figured it out as soon as he guessed it, and even asked him, holding back a smile, if he wanted to add some wolfberry to the thermos cup. "Do I look like someone who needs to pick up goji berries?" Gu Huiyan is quite confident at this point. Drinking hot water is to cure the cold as soon as possible. Is it really necessary to soak wolfberry? Maybe it was because of Gu Huiyan's nurturing, that is, after 3 or 5 days of this, his cold was almost gone. Gu Huiyan has not been idle these days. Originally, his work in Shanghai could be finished in a day or two, but because he has become more popular recently, the company has also received several announcements. Plus it is the end of the year, and the endorsements for the next quarter have also been announced. It was almost time to shoot, so I stayed for a few more days. It's a pity that Gu Huiyan originally planned to go home during these busy days at work. After all, he is going to attend the Spring Festival Gala this year and will definitely not be able to go home on New Year's Eve. If he takes Pei Jingshu home in advance, his mother will not only not mind but also be very happy. There was probably no way he could go back. Gu Huiyan could only call his own mother to say sorry. Gu's mother didn't mind. Maybe it was because Gu Huiyan had been scolded and blackmailed in the past 6 months. Now he's feeling better and can be busy with work. On the contrary, she was happy for her son. It doesn't matter if she doesn't come back. She's not alone anyway, so there's Gu Zun. The mother and son can also accompany each other. Anyway, there's nothing too heavy about the Chinese New Year now, and firecrackers aren't allowed. Nothing to worry about. Speaking of Gu Zun, this guy posted on dozens of WeChat moments that night after Gu Huiyan's concert. It's an exaggeration. Gu Huiyan was really relieved about him. He transferred some extra pocket money to him and let him take the little female classmate to play in Suzhou for several days. When she mentioned this matter, Pei Jingshu still had some excuses, saying that Gu Huiyan had indulged his younger brother too much, and that he should take care of it sometimes. Why should junior high school students just fall in love with each other? Gu Huiyan was happy for a moment, and asked, could it be possible that we were like the two of us, that we still have our first love, first kiss, and first time in our 20s? Pei Jingshu immediately blushed with embarrassment. Sometimes she really wanted to hit Gu Huiyan. Fortunately, Gu Huiyan then explained that they were just classmates, and both of them had good grades, which was a kind of comfort, so Pei Jingshu didn't say much. But that night during dinner, Pei Jingshu told Gu Huiyan something. That was when they broke up, and Gu Zun sent her some messages. Ah! Gu Huiyan was stunned for a moment when he heard this, then silently held his forehead and said, I knew I shouldn't have let him add your V letter in the first place. That summer, when Pei Jingshu went to Gu Huiyan's hometown, she added Gu Zun's V letter. The boy even boasted about it, but Gu Huiyan also warned him not to tell anyone, otherwise he would lose his head. Then I didn't care about it anymore. Unexpectedly, Gu Zun would have sent a V letter to Pei Jingshu at that time. Look. Pei Jingshu found the messages with a smile and showed Gu Huiyan the phone screen wrapped in a white phone case. Gu Huiyan took a brief look, and after looking at it, the corners of his mouth twitched. It's not that there is anything wrong with what Gu Zun said, he just said that all the mistakes are my brother's fault. My brother is a big pig's hooves and doesn't know anything. You shouldn't be as knowledgeable as him. This should be the case in itself. It would be wrong for him to accuse Pei Jingshu of saying she did something wrong. Gu Huiyan is really difficult to deal with. But the problem is, you're not going to act so humble, are you? This kid doesn't know the inside story, so it's all his brother's fault. What's the matter, because his brother is an outsider and Pei Jingshu is one of our own? Thinking of this, Gu Huiyan regretted letting this kid play in Suzhou. He should just go home after the concert. No, that's not right. He shouldn't even be allowed to go to any damn concert. You shouldn't give him a penny of pocket money. I have become your servant. Gu Huiyan held his forehead silently and told Pei Jingshu that when he talked to his mother on the phone that night, Gu's mother also told him to be nice to Pei Jingshu, but to never do those things again. Pook. Pei Jingshu couldn't help but laugh, and said slightly moved. Your family are all very kind people. Pei Jingshu could tell from the words and deeds of Gu Ma and Gu Zun that they were honest, and kind-hearted people. During their breakup incident, Gu Huiyan suffered a lot of malice, both online and offline, and her work was stagnant in all aspects, all because of one of her posts. Instead of blaming her, Gu Huiyan's mother and brother tried to calm her down, which made her a little embarrassed. Gu Huiyan has two close relatives who are sensible. With such a family, as long as the daughter-in-law is not too ignorant, there will definitely be no obstacles in life. In fact, it should be like this in real life. When young people have conflicts, old people can't blindly turn only to their own family members. You can even be as blind as possible to outsiders, because the blood relationship between you and your family members is there, so what? It's not bad, you can hit him and scold him, it's no problem. But if you only focus on your own family, you will look like an outsider to others, which will make you feel unhappy, and various conflicts will ensue. You said that in the relationship between Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu, if Gu Huiyan's family attacks Pei Jingshu, even if it is true, can Pei Jingshu not have a grudge? It's hard to say how to deal with it in the future. Gu Huiyan's family handled it quite well. The turmoil was so big that they had black fans in the family's fried skewers shop, but they basically never made any public statements, and they never attacked Pei Jingshu. Just one attitude, Gu Huiyan's affairs should be handled by himself. It has nothing to do with them. It seems indifferent, but in fact this is what smart people do. Internet public opinion cannot be manipulated. You don't explain it, you say it, and others will listen. Sometimes it's easy to draw darker and darker. Are there not many celebrities and artists who have been tricked by their relatives? The most ruthless one was the one who asked his own mother to call the police and personally send him in to step on the sewing machine. After attending the Spring Festival Gala, I will accompany you back home. In the cozy room, Pei Jingshu huddled on the sofa, hugging Gu Huiyan's arm, and whispered with a blushing face. Okay. Gu Huiyan nodded. Last time he went back, Gu's mother didn't see Pei Jingshu. He had always been quite satisfied with her, so it was just a good time to meet her. Then what gift should I bring? Pei Jingshu asked Gu Huiyan for his opinion. It's up to you. Gu Huiyan scratched his head, actually wanting to give some advice, but he really couldn't think of anything and had never experienced such a thing. Let me ask my sister. Pei Jingshu said that New Year gifts are usually handled by family members, and she has never done so. Gu Huiyan nodded. At this moment, he didn't realize the seriousness of the matter. He was quite relaxed and sat there boredly holding his phone and watching videos, thinking that giving gifts during the New Year had nothing to do with him. Who would have thought that right after, Pei Jingshu tugged at the corner of his clothes, her pretty face turned red, and she said a little embarrassed. Then do you want to come home with me too? Gu Huiyan was stunned when he heard this. Obviously he didn't expect Pei Jingshu to say this. But it's normal to think about it. You said that the two of you have been in love for a year or two. Although they broke up for more than half a year, it was not a short time. In the past half a year, their breakup caused a lot of trouble in the city. Gu Huiyan's family people are affected by it. It is impossible for Pei Jingshu's family not to pay attention to this matter and not worry about their daughter. You really should go there. Yes, but what gift should I bring? Gu Huiyan subconsciously thought of the question Pei Jingshu asked him just now. He had known Pei Jingshu's family before. Her family seemed to be engaged in trading. At the end of every year, there were many people visiting her door to give gifts. There was definitely no shortage of various gifts. What haven't you seen? Just buying something and giving it away seems a bit informal, right? Seeing Gu Huiyan's sudden nervousness, Pei Jingshu was amused. Then she imitated Gu Huiyan's tone and said. It's up to you. Gu Huiyan. Aim. Sure enough, don't offend women unless you offend anyone. Gu Huiyan said that he would ask Zhang Nuan later. No, let's ask Mother Zhang. She should know what gift to give. Talk later. Gu Huiyan glanced at the time and saw that it was getting late. They had a flight to the capital tomorrow morning and were going to attend the Spring Festival Gala the day after tomorrow. Let's go take a rest, Gu Huiyan asked Pei Jingshu. Okay. Pei Jingshu nodded naturally and dragged her white furry slippers to enter the room. Hey, where are you going? With quick eyes and quick hands, Gu Huiyan stood up and grabbed Pei Jingshu's white and skinny wrist. I'm going to rest. Pei Jingshu pointed a green jade finger in the direction of her room. Didn't she say it was getting late to rest? Cough. Gu Huiyan raised his hand and coughed lightly, then smiled and told Pei Jingshu in a suggestive tone. I have completely recovered from my cold. I am sure that I will not and cannot infect you. In the past 2 days, no one knew how much Gu Huiyan cared about his health and how much he wanted to get well quickly. Today at noon, he even asked Zhang Nuan to run more than 30 kilometers to a shop and make chicken soup. Yesterday I had a slight cold reaction, but today I'm completely fine. Gu Huiyan said that even a top-notch cow can put on Superman's red pants and fight him for 180 rounds. That's it? When I had a cold before, I couldn't help it? Gu Huiyan was also sensible. He didn't take a shower with Pei Jingshu, nor did he sleep in the same room with her. He kept a distance when eating. He couldn't help but wanted to kiss and hug her. Wear a mask too. Isn't that better now? Well, why not enjoy the life of a real couple? What are you talking about? I can't quite understand. Pei Jingshu's legs tightened unconsciously, then she blushed and turned her eyes away, not daring to look at Gu Huiyan. He was also exerting force on his wrist, trying to break away from Gu Huiyan, and then quickly closed the door of his own room to stop this beast that had been holding it in for many days. As a result, the beast seemed to sense her efforts to break free and her intention to evade. Then Pei Jingshu noticed an irresistible force coming from her wrist, and then her body uncontrollably pounced on Gu Huiyan. Ah! Pei Jingshu exclaimed, but she didn't have time to struggle, because a certain old man's mouth had already been printed on her, completely blocking her mouth. Well! Countless blushes soon appeared on Pei Jingshu's fair and delicate face. Although she was very shy and tried her best to break free, she didn't know why, but her body would involuntarily soften when she was kissed. It's wired. She's going to get weird. In the living room of the apartment, in front of the huge floor-to-ceiling window, the wonderful night view outside the window was still clearly visible. Gu Huiyan hugged Pei Jingshu and kept kissing her. At this time, if any of the two fans see this scene, they will probably say, they want to eat noodles. I can't breathe. Pei Jingshu didn't push Gu Huiyan's hand away very hard. The reason she finally forced her to push Gu Huiyan away was because she really couldn't breathe. This guy is very strong, and he never strikes lightly or hard. When he kisses her, he tends to press too hard and get too close to her face, causing her nose to get blocked. You can no longer breathe through your mouth, and you can no longer breathe in and out through your nose. People will really be deprived of oxygen. Not to mention Pei Jingshu, Gu Huiyan was also a little breathless, but at the moment he didn't care about it. He licked his lips, took a breath, and kissed her again. Well. Pei Jingshu was struggling, but her strength was still not strong. It is worth mentioning that Gu Huiyan hugged Pei Jingshu's slender waist and moved aside while kissing her. Maybe they were all focused on each other, and he didn't know where they went. Gu Huiyan only knew that his arm around Pei Jingshu's waist hit a counter. Hiss. It hurt a little when he hit the bone, and Gu Huiyan gasped. No. Are you okay? Pei Jingshu is still worried about whether Gu Huiyan's hand is injured. What she should be worried about now is her little white rabbit. Participating in a love show, this little guy is too down to earth. Author, Bulletin Shi Xuan Shi Shui Xian. Chapter 365. Well. Pei Jingshu felt that her body was very soft and her face was very hot, probably very red. Even though she and Gu Huiyan were the only two people in the huge house, those shyness would still surge into her heart uncontrollably. Although the memory of the first time is not a good one, a guy was so rude because he drank too much that even her jeans were torn. But if there is any bad impression or shadow about this matter, that's not the case. She is just very shy, and she still can't get used to this. Seeing that Gu Huiyan was about to kiss him again, Pei Jingshu couldn't bear to turn her head to avoid it. Instead, she raised her jade hand to cover his mouth and said with a blushing face. First, take a shower first. Wash it later. Gu Huiyan didn't agree at all, so he pulled Pei Jingshu's hand away and kissed her again. Well. While his mouth was gagged, Gu Huiyan's violent state also made Pei Jingshu couldn't help but wonder, this guy didn't drink today. What's going on? It seems that this guy has been having a hard time enduring the cold these days. Think about it, you can see but not touch them all day long, and you have to keep your distance even when eating. How can you bear it without it being hard? First, take a shower first, please. Pei Jingshu is not a misophobia, she just wants to give herself some time to mentally build up. She feels too rough, too rude. Seeing her persistence, even though it was very unbearable, Gu Huiyan still had no choice but to temporarily suppress it, pinched his waist and said, "Okay, then I'll release the water." With that said, he ran to the bathroom as fast as he could. Pei Jingshu's house had a very large bathtub. Let alone 2 people, 5 or 6 people could take a bath together. Gu Huiyan even thought it was not called a bathtub but a bathtub. You can even swim in it. During this time, we were afraid of infecting Pei Jingshu due to colds and fevers, so we never had a bath together. Gu Huiyan didn't have any objections before leaving tonight to enjoy themselves. Call. Seeing that he finally stopped pushing herself so hard, Pei Jingshu breathed a sigh of relief. Leaning on the counter support at her back, Pei Jingshu felt that her body was so weak, as if she was about to fall down accidentally. And at this moment, Gu Huiyan, who had just rushed into the bathroom, suddenly ran back again. What? Pei Jingshu was startled, thinking that this guy had changed his mind, and subconsciously crossed her hands in front of her chest. Fortunately, Gu Huiyan didn't take any further action and just said, "We agreed not to sneak away with you." As soon as these words came out, Pei Jingshu, who does this guy think she is? But this can't be blamed on Gu Huiyan. After all, just look at how shy Pei Jingshu is. It's not impossible for her to sneak into the room and lock the door while Gu Huiyan is running the water. "I won't." Pei Jingshu lowered her head, raised her eyes and glanced sideways at Gu Huiyan. She was not angry, but her pretty face was red, so she didn't have much strength. Only then did Gu Huiyan feel relieved and go in to release the water. Pattering. In the huge bathtub, water is constantly accumulating. There are 2 faucets with a large amount of water, so the water comes out relatively quickly. There were bath balls for bathing at home. Gu Huiyan threw a few in, and there were also some concentrated packets for bathing with rose petals and milk. Gu Huiyan had no use for that one. It felt too much and too complicated. Especially the rose petals, which feel a bit IQ taxed. They are just to enhance the atmosphere. They tend to stick to your body when you stand up, and you have to brush them away. It's not troublesome enough. After getting these done, put the brackets and things for holding toiletries on. Once the water level is about the same, that's it. To Gu Huiyan's great relief, Pei Jingshu had already taken off her clothes and wrapped herself in a bath towel when she came out. The light pink bath towel was wrapped just above her chest, and her bony collarbones and white shoulders were clearly visible. Nowadays, she has cut her waist-length hair and has short hair that reaches her shoulders. She can just tie it up with a hairband without bothering to tie it up. Please. Gu Huiyan imitated the butler posture in the anime, placed one hand across his chest and between his stomach, put a towel on his arm, smiled and bowed to make a please gesture. Pei Jingshu blushed and glared at him, saying, You go down first." She couldn't stand Gu Huiyan watching her take off the towel and get off with his eyes open. Who is different first? Gu Huiyan was completely unstained. As soon as he took off his clothes, he turned around and walked out of the bath. "The water temperature is just right," he told Pei Jingshu. Pei Jingshu's eyes were evasive. The 2 of them would definitely not wear swimsuits when taking a bath. "Come or not, I will drag you if you don't come." Seeing that she was still teasing Gu Huiyan, he had no choice but to resort to some tough tactics. I'll do it myself." Pei Jingshu waved her hands repeatedly, looking scared like a little rabbit, and told Gu Huiyan, "You, turn around first." "Huh? Ah, okay." Gu Huiyan scratched his head, turned around, and muttered, "It's not like I've never seen it before." There were only 2 of them in the bathroom, and these words reached Pei Jingshu's ears accurately, making her shyness even more intense. Call. After taking a deep breath of the moist air, Pei Jingshu finally took off the bath towel wrapped around her body, then took her white feet out of her slippers, crossed her hands on her shoulders, and walked in bath. Gu Huiyan could hear the splash of her entering the water, but he did not turn around in a hurry. Instead, he waited for Pei Jingshu to completely walk in before turning around slowly. Gu Huiyan turned around feeling helpless. Pei Jingshu always couldn't let go. Look, now she was huddled in a corner, with her hands folded around her chest, as if she was being bullied. Gu Huiyan didn't mind and quickly came to Pei Jingshu's side. Well. Before Pei Jingshu could react, Gu Huiyan raised his hand and hooked his smooth chin, tilted his head and kissed her. She feels like she's always being forced, but it doesn't matter if you say she doesn't want to be like this. Anyway, she feels quite conflicted. Yes, don't you need to take a shower? What are you doing? Seeing that this old man was starting to act dishonest, Pei Jingshu immediately held him down, frowned, and asked. Take a bath, isn't this just to help you take a bath? Gu Huiyan rubbed his hands and said. Come on, please stretch your legs over and I'll rub them for you. You. Pei Jingshu suddenly regretted saying she wanted to take a bath. She felt that this was not just a bath, but a benefit for Gu Huiyan. Was he going to give himself a bath? Pei Jingshu was too embarrassed to expose him. Hey, don't. However, before Pei Jingshu could refuse, Gu Huiyan had already pulled her legs over. It was said that those slender jade legs were really white and tender. Although they were not very slippery in the water, they felt really good to the touch. Great. Of course, what's even better is the white and tender little Geo. If the foot is here, I guess I would want to lick it. But obviously, Gu Huiyan doesn't have that kind of hobby, but it won't be a problem if he touches it a little bit. Don't. Pei Jingshu blushed and leaned her head on the edge of the bathtub. She gently covered her mouth with her beautiful hands, trying to cover up the blush on her pretty face. She didn't know why she always felt that her body was so weak when Gu Huiyan touched her, and she had no strength. Just now she almost fell into the water. And her appearance really cannot be shown to men, otherwise no man in the world can hold it tight. Gilug. Gu Huiyan never claimed to be a gentleman, so he couldn't help but swallowed and kissed him. Well. Pei Jingshu was really embarrassed at the time, but in the end, they seemed to be eating noodles in the bathroom just like they teased when they took netizens to visit the bathroom during the live broadcast. The next day. Early morning. Jingle bell. Gu Huiyan was woken up by the alarm clock. Today they are leaving for the capital, and they have to get up early because they have to catch a plane. Gu Huiyan has had the habit of being unable to sleep when the alarm clock goes off since he was a child. It must have been because he had a great time last night, so this morning Gu Huiyan felt refreshed. He sat up from the bed and rubbed his eyes for a while, then he woke up and stretched. Lazy Waist feels full of strength and is in good spirits. In comparison, Pei Jingshu and him seemed to be two different people. Pei Jingshu, who was huddled in the quilt on one side like a little white rabbit, didn't just squirm slightly and turned over like this even when she heard the alarm clock. She didn't want to move, and felt like her whole body was falling apart. Get up. Gu Huiyan leaned into her ear and whispered. Well. Pei Jingshu opened some of her eyes sleepily. When she saw it was Gu Huiyan, she subconsciously frowned, then she pushed him slightly as if she was disgusted and said. I really don't want to see you now. It felt like she was really going to be left with a psychological shadow by Gu Huiyan. She was so tired. Gu Huiyan shrugged and did not express it in words, but pulled the quilt to expose Pei Jingshu's mouth, lowered his head and kissed her. Well. Early in the morning, Pei Jingshu, who was not awake at first, was suddenly woken up by a kiss. She had no strength to speak just now. Now she didn't know where the strength came from. She climbed up and sat up, hugging the quilt. He leaned over himself and said. I just need to get up. You should also hurry up and get dressed. With that said, she went to get the clothes she had put aside. She was really smart. In order to avoid the dilemma of looking for clothes last morning, she put a set of clothes aside in advance. Gu Huiyan grinned and stopped talking nonsense to get dressed and get up. The assistants arrived not too late, they arrived less than half an hour after Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu got up. It would be inappropriate for a female celebrity to go to the airport without makeup, so Pei Jingshu had to grab makeup in advance and ate breakfast while putting on makeup. "What's going on, Sister Pei?" When putting on makeup, the assistant was still surprised and asked Pei Jingshu, "Why do you feel so tired?" Pei Jingshu has not arranged any work except for the Spring Festival Gala recently. Because she was busy with the concert before, her condition before the concert was not very good. If possible, she will postpone the follow-up work first. Pei Ya plans to let her have a good life. We'll work again next year. These days, I basically just go to the beauty salon, drink afternoon tea, and occasionally pick up Gu Huiyan from work. It's very relaxing and not busy at all. Just like that. Why are you so sleepy so early in the morning that you feel as tired as if you have been moving bricks for several days? At that time, Pei Jingshu was sleepy and confused. When she was asked this question, she didn't know what was going on. She didn't even think about it and said subconsciously, "It's not all the fault of that person outside. He last night." Halfway through her words, she realized something was wrong, and immediately raised her hand to cover her mouth. Her eyes widened quickly, with a frightened expression on her face. And when she turned to look at the assistants, makeup artists, and staff around her, as expected, she found that they were looking at her with very strange eyes. "You are really, that, ahem." The assistant wanted to say something, but for a long time he didn't say a word, which made him blush. What she actually wanted to say in her heart was, "Sister Pei, can you say this to others?" Indeed, Pei Jingshu is also cursing secretly what the hell is wrong with her brain for saying this kind of inner monologue. She collapsed. Totally devastated. I lay in front of the makeup mirror with my pretty face covered for a long time without daring to lift it up. What happened? When Pei Ya came in, she saw her sister lying in front of the dressing mirror. It was strange that the makeup artist was at a loss. She thought that the makeup artist had made a mistake somewhere, which made Pei Jingshu unable to stand it. "Sister." The assistant then came to Pei Ya's ear and whispered something, which made Pei Ya a little embarrassed and embarrassed. "Ahem, that." Pei Ya was a little incoherent for a moment, but in the end she didn't say anything, silently holding her forehead and retreating. Just at this moment, Gu Huiyan passed by chewing a bun. At that time, Gu Huiyan swore that he had done nothing, but he still received a big look from Pei Ya. Gu Huiyan. He was so confused that he thought to himself, "Why is the sister having such trouble?" It was a little late to leave the house, but at least the flight was not delayed. The flight was after 10 o'clock, less than 2 hours flight, and they arrived in the capital around noon. It was already lunchtime when we landed in the capital. Gu Huiyan simply took Pei Jingshu to eat roast duck. Quanjude is definitely more famous for roast duck in the capital, but the one with the longest queue was Siji Minfu. The focus of Gu Huiyan's work is in the capital. He has lived here for a long time and has a good understanding of food and drink. He knows very well that even if it is not a holiday, the capital, a popular tourist city, is full of people, so if you want to eat roast duck, you must make a reservation in advance and queue up. Gu Huiyan made an appointment as soon as the plane landed and was able to connect to the internet. Even so, he still had to wait for a while when he got to the place. Speaking of which, sometimes Gu Huiyan envies those connected households. It would be great if he could go directly without making an appointment. They went to the Forbidden City restaurant, which had a viewing area. Gu Huiyan didn't choose the view when eating. "After all, you came here to eat?" What you cared about was mainly the taste of the food, and it wasn't a tourist attraction. But who told him not to eat alone, but also with Pei Jingshu, Pei Ya, and many staff from both teams? For this reason, all the tables were reserved for large tables, and all the dishes ordered were from the same table. Speaking of which, now that Gu Huiyan goes out every day, it is like taking people to a banquet, so there are always many people, and now he earns more. Otherwise, just eating and drinking would be too much. Cannot afford. It is worth mentioning that when they entered, some people recognized Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu, some said hello, and some asked for photos. Lu Ren was always very enthusiastic. Although it is not uncommon to see celebrities in the capital, especially in the classic old stores of these popular internet celebrities, Gu Huiyan and Pei Jingshu have the largest traffic now, and their status in everyone's hearts is high enough, so the crowds attracted were also higher. Not only here, but also at the airport, they attract onlookers. It seems that they attract onlookers wherever they go recently. There was no way, Pei Jingshu's face was too conspicuous, Gu Huiyan would never be able to keep a low profile when taking her out. What's funny is that when this incident was later posted online, some people said that Gu Huiyan was down to earth. Why? Because an informed person revealed that Gu Huiyan queued up online to eat the roast duck and was still waiting to get there. There was no trust in the queue. He also said that many celebrities go to popular restaurants that require queuing to eat because of their trust. I can't stand it. But actually, if you want Gu Huiyan to say, it's not that he doesn't want to rely on connections, it's mainly because we have no way of doing this. It's not that I don't want to ask for help, it's that I don't. So sometimes, once this personality is established, you don't need to deliberately manage it, the fans will work hard to help you shape it. Ding, the host's grounded energy has been exposed, and the system points are at 91x10. Gu Huiyan was still a little confused when he received the system notification. At that time, he was showing off his rice. The view here is great. Pei Jingshu walked to the viewing area to look at the scenery outside. In fact, the capital has always felt like winter, especially the Forbidden City. The Forbidden City is famous for its snowy scenery. Every year, there are countless photographers. For this reason, people come one after another, many days in advance. Of course, good looking is good looking, and cold is also really cold. It's already the 12th lunar month of winter, and it's almost the end of the year. The capital city in the north is no better than Shanghai. Winter here can really reach -10 degrees Celsius. Pei Jingshu, who originally could only wear a sweater and a windbreaker in Shanghai, had to wear a thick down jacket when she came here. Autumn clothes and long trousers no longer work, and she had to wear a thermal lining. It was annoying. You can no longer wear a scarf or a hat. Wear more. Just like this, Gu Huiyan wished he could add some more clothes to Pei Jingshu. Pei Jingshu glanced sideways at Gu Huiyan and asked angrily. Why do you need me to wear so much? I'm afraid you'll catch a cold, Gu Huiyan answered truthfully. Pei Jingshu sneered and said. I'm afraid I'll catch a cold and delay your business.